Welcome to What the Drift Podcast with your hosts, Formula Drift drivers Andy Haitley and Jeff Jones.
All right, are we in?
We're in.
We're in. What's up, fellas? This is What the Drift, episode 6, and we got a special one for you today.
Hotpit Extravaganza.
Yeah, Hotpit Extravaganza. So, happening March 5th, we've got promotional items. March 5th, Irwindale Speedway. Come on down. Tickets are $20. Gates open at 10 a.m. If you didn't know, 10 a.m. We'll be running all the way till 6 p.m. Full competition, 40 drivers. By the time you get in, it'll be.
And you guys got like a burnout comp.
We
got
have
DJs,
a lot of things happening.
models.
Let me break it down for you. Models, live band, DJs, car show. We're going to have about 300 cars for the car show.
RC cars coming out?
RC cars. We're
Sick.
hoping to have at least 40 RC cars. There's a full competition. I'm not fully running that part of it, but there's going to be an RC drift competition on the site. We're not going to do burnouts. We're a little short on timing for that one. There is going to be drag racing. We're going to have the, not spec, but it's, what do you call that drag racing when it's like two cars at the same time, but they run different times? I don't know what they call that.
Roll racing?
No, something funny about
Okay.
drag racing.
Okay. Stagger it or something like that?
Staggered or
Yeah,
something dumb.
yeah.
I don't know. But Hot Pit, 40 drivers, some of the best dudes. We're going to have some pro guys. TJ Hunt's coming out. Not pro, but, you know, professional.
Everybody
media.
knows TJ.
Everyone knows TJ. Kyle Mohan, Rome. And, man, I think we have, like, 7 pro spec guys. I'm surprised you're not driving for this one, bro.
I need another car.
You need another car.
Yeah,
You definitely need another
I
car.
need to get the E30 done.
Yeah, we got a lot of guys who are moving up to pro spec, but also doing Hot Pit. Yeah.
Yep. And then this episode, we got Cody Breitenstein, Margaritas Racing, Alex Rivera, Bright Slide Drift, Jake Slides, George Caracopoulos, Richard Devani, Eric Welch, Tony Cisneros, Zandara, I got it right. Yeah, so we got a lot of people on this episode, so stay tuned in, and we'll roll right into it.
It's going to be a fun one.
Thank you, guys.
Wait, there wasn't an intro yet, bro. You're doing that to me again? I need that intro.
Cars. Look, Jeff's pretending something's the microphone. Yay. Oh, yeah.
Who are those people?
That's RJ and Rob waiting for us. So
Holy
we're going to pull them
smokes.
in up here in a second, and we're going to do an interview. This episode is going to be all about hot pit drivers. So we're interviewing, I think, like 10 different, either 10 or more hot pit drivers.
No idea.
So we're getting people lined up here. We're going to do interviews. And,
I see me.
Yeah, we're going to be good to go. Oh, look at that. They can see us now.
Shazam.
Yay. Hi.
And that's muted and that we don't get this crazy feedback thing?
Couple minutes, guys, and we're going to be on. So, yeah, episode 6.
Episode 6
We're actually
already?
doing it. We're actually doing it. I should get my headphones on. So I
Yeah,
look
get your
like
headphones on.
legit and stuff. See if I can do that without pulling.
Can
my
anyone even
computer
hear
over.
you?
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Hello.
Hey,
Yeah,
I
it
can
sounds
hear
like
you.
they can.
We're good.
Yeah, it
We're
sounds pretty
good. We know what we're doing, even though this looks like we do not know
so
what we're
we
doing.
have a lot of guests.
We have
this
1,
time.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't know how many microphones and cameras and things.
We have
You've
3
upgraded.
microphones and 4 cameras, 1 digital recording device, and 1 audio recording
What is
device.
the digital recording device doing?
That's so the camera doesn't stop recording
All
while we're
right.
in the middle of our stuff. And now we can sort of see it, so we know it's recording.
You can see
know?
it.
Why did the GoPro just shut
I
off?
look like a predator. Oh, yeah. So, it has been a nightmare for Andy. Every, like 20 minutes, 15 minutes, everything random.
You're good.
One of
Just
these
sneak
cameras
over
will
there.
just stop recording.
Yeah, and the GoPro just
And
shut
Andy
off for no reason
goes
at
through
all.
this whole scenario of
Yeah.
like how to blend the audio and each, you're syncing every camera and you're doing the whole thing so we get more than one view. If I did this, I would just have one freaking view. I'd be so lazy.
It should be like a 6-hour job into like a 12-hour job. pretty
Yeah.
much. Yeah. The
Yeah.
last one took me 12 hours solid to get
It's
it done.
a lot of
Yeah.
freaking work.
It's going again.
Yep,
cool.
yep.
Well.
And we have our behind the scenes man. Can you introduce him? That
Oh,
no one's
yeah.
ever seen.
My roommate here, BLW Photo LA, Bryant.
Yep, that's
You-
his balls.
yeah, you
he
just
just
saw his
jumped over.
balls.
Yep.
Yeah, he's checking the cameras for us because these things keep shutting off all the time, and it's kind of unacceptable to do a podcast when like all of a sudden you have no camera angles. That's basically what happened in the Ryan literal episode. Luckily it was when he was doing his whole story, but we lost all of our cameras for like 30 minutes. It was like 40 minutes, dude. Like it was bad. So hopefully this one works out, and I don't have to spend 12 hours editing this one.
Yeah, we're professionals.
That'd be nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Yeah. Cheers, boss.
Cheers. Round.
Cheers.
I'll just say round 6.
Cheers to still doing this.
Episode 6. Yep. And we got Christina hanging out in the background still.
This is round 6.
Do we got any questions yet? Any random wordings of things?
Whose ass is that?
Whose ass is that?
Oh, that's Brian's ass.
Brian's ass.
Yeah. Who's interested in it? Actually, is my question.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
single.
Male or female?
Yeah.
Maybe it doesn't matter.
Oh, I got an idea. People were complaining so much about your shiny head last time. I brought this little
I've
guy.
got a hat, you liars.
There you go.
That's pretty good,
There.
though. That's
So now you got Jeff with hair.
Jeff with hair.
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
rock that. I can rock
Christina,
that.
what do you think? Yeah.
Looks like Edward Cullen.
Oh, well, speaking of random things, did we already get this stuff in the camera? See? There's no longer just Andy. Look at
Yeah, he covered up all my
Damn.
stuff.
Yeah,
with his
yeah,
stuff
yeah.
Now.
We got more checks.
So
more
you gotta
checks.
You got to write your name on that. Oh, it says pro, though, so they know
Yeah.
it's you.
They know it's me.
I ain't no pro.
Full pro.
I ain't no pro.
Promo.
Picture of our dogs now.
Right? No, yeah, you should bring a picture of the dogs. That'd be
my
funny.
All right, we got a lot of people on here. So let's bring them in and get this going. So what we're talking about right now is Hotpit Autofest. We brought some flyers. Bring it over there. Shazam. So there's a lot going on at Hotpit Autofest, and we wanted to talk to the drivers. But why not just talk to the drivers when you can talk to a few of the founders of it? And of course, I'm one of them. But I usually just get on here and ramble. But let's bring on the couple of the other knuckleheads.
Yeah, let's bring on the way cooler founders.
Yeah,
the
way
guys,
cooler.
Yeah, they're way cooler than you. So, we're gonna
Working
talk to
hard,
them.
gentlemen.
Yeah.
How do we get them in here?
We're going to pull them in on Discord, but we got to end the Instagram Live because they're not going to hear them.
All right, nerds.
So, thank
Wait,
you
do we
guys.
have any questions right there?
Yeah,
more?
any random questions before we start that? We still got a minute.
Somebody said they want to see Jeff versus Rome exhibition tandem battle at round 1 next month.
Let me borrow a car and make that happen.
That might be kind of cool if
That'd
you
be
did
kinda
like
cool.
pro call-outs too at the events,
yeah. Need to borrow a car.
Yeah.
Cars
Take
won't be
my-
ready by then.
And somebody's asking, where are you guys streaming on?
For Hot Pit? Oh, for this? We're not streaming anywhere. It's going to be on YouTube, and that's all for now. We're trying to get Spotify stuff done, but I've been busy, so haven't got that one done. But we're trying to work out how to do this live. We need to get all these video feeds in, or either do one camera. It's hard to do it. We basically need someone on the sidelines switching cameras and making sure everything's running properly if we're going to go live, because there's all, with all the equipment
Itchy.
shutting down. Yeah.
It's kind of itchy. I don't know. Does your head itch this much, bro?
Guys over here. Look at this dude. Look at that. Somebody get screenshots. Screenshot this man. Yeah, there you go. Get those screenshots.
I'm like a prep boy with this.
Yeah, you do.
Where'd you get this from?
You look like a nice English
I
boy.
don't even know if this is a guy's thing right here. This might be a chick's.
Who cares? It looks great on you.
Do you still love me, Christina?
It looks wonderful.
All right. We're good.
She loves it. All right, we're gonna pull in Rob. So thank you guys. Appreciate you guys. Till next time. Say
Till next
goodbye.
time. Later, dudes.
Later.
This one says that there's 12 minutes remaining. Recording time.
Don't know what that means.
Only 12 minutes left.
It's counting down, so now it's 11:58.
That's weird.
What do I hear over there? I think I hear Christina's something going on. All right, let's move this on. So there's always technical difficulties as Andy is trying to figure them
Let's
out.
pull Rob and these guys in. We are right on time.
Let's get
at 8
Rob and
p.m.
RJ at the same
We
time.
got 15 minutes with them, and then I believe we have Z Drives after that. Zandra.
We'll have to see how she pronounces her name. I thought it was Zandara.
Is there another car?
Oh, is it? I never.
Is there another card for that camera?
Yeah, there's more cards in there. Yeah, just don't grab any of them that are out of the. You can grab. Yeah, that one's perfect.
Technical
Yeah,
difficulties.
The one that's already in there. The two that are out on the bottom there are the ones that got screwed. Those two on the bottom. Yeah.
What did you
exactly.
do? You moved that camera? Oh my God, this show is out of control. And my head is itchy and I'm burning up. Oh man.
You look great.
Do I
You
have
look
it on
great,
the
man.
right direction?
You look great. You look wonderful.
And what do these guys see? Just right there? Can we move here? Let's move this and we'll really get these guys up in here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, throw those in the fridge.
Can you toss those in there, boss?
Keep those in the fridge.
you,
Let's
sir.
bring the boys in town. The boys are back in town.
The boys back.
All right, there we go. There we go.
Okay.
There we go. Wait a minute, I think I heard someone. I hear me.
Yeah, it's echoing through here. I gotta mute this one.
Muty.
Okay, so that should be good. Okay. So let's talk with RJ first, I guess, since we just pulled you
Oh,
up.
you got them both. Get them both in there. I see them.
Yeah, that's gonna make it more difficult to do
okay.
the editing. Though.
All right.
So we'll talk to.
I know RJ's on date night, so let's get him through before he gets yelled at.
Okay. All right.
I'm cool.
You good? All right. So what's up, RJ? How you doing?
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Doing good. So
Doing good.
Hotpit Autofest. You are one of the co-founders, and Jeff and you and Rob seem to have put together something pretty awesome here in SoCal. Kind of want to start from the beginning. Like, did you want to do this because you just saw the lack of competition, or did you want to do it because you wanted to sort of see something bigger evolve?
Both, I guess. I mean, I was trying to wet my feet in terms of competing myself, and Top Drift was around back then, and the Drift League, and they both were great in their own things. But I felt that there was something lacking, which was the actual outsider's perspective of drifting. Like people and partying and music and this and that. So, and I mean, this whole idea, kind of began when Jeff and I at All-Star Bash.
All-Star
We
Bash.
were just like drifting, and then at night we brought like my DJ, one of my DJ equipments and speakers, and then him and I started going on a truck and then making a big party, and then we started talking, and then we're like, dude, like it was one night of randomness, just talking, just being creative, and then for 2 years basically we just started talking about that. So, and then of course, Rob came into the picture because he holds the largest grassroots series in SoCal. So it just made perfect sense for him to come and really be a part of this whole idea. And, he came and he brought his ideas. I mean, there was so many things, but I guess the short answer is, yeah, there was some stuff lacking, and I think we needed it in SoCal.
Yeah, it was definitely lacking on the Pro-Am, and there's a lot of thirsty drivers out here. Like, when you guys started this, I personally, like, no offense, I didn't expect the driver count to be, like, that big, like, right off the bat. It was kind of cool to see that many people come out and be eager to compete. Because, yeah, I mean, SoCal was, like, the sort of spot for drifting, when drifting started coming up. Everybody moved here. And, to see it kind of fall off the radar a little bit was kind of sad, and I'm really happy that you guys are bringing that back and giving something for all these guys to focus towards. There's a lot of kids out there that aren't driving Hot Pit yet that are seeing all this stuff happen, going to the events, and they're like, man, I got to get my car together to do that, and they'll spend 2 or 3 years just building a car, getting their funds together, getting everything in order just to do something like what you're doing right now. So, hats off to you guys for giving these guys dreams, basically. You're giving people a focus, a path in life for for that matter,
Yep. It's been really fun working with RJ. He is the business savvy guy on that end of it. It's definitely every time we got to go hunt for sponsors and pay for things. He's like first one to like I am. What do you call it? I'm just cheap, I guess, for lack of better words. But he's really good at like not giving away too much money, right? RJ's good at being just the businessman all the way around. So I really appreciate that about his efforts.
I mean, ultimately, we are doing this to grow the community, but it is a business at the end of the day. And by being a business, we don't mean that we just want to make money. We actually want to make this a sustainable company that is going to be able to do this for a long time. And that takes some money, some commitment, from different partners, from the drivers themselves. So we are putting all of our chips in a way that we know it counts. Basically, what the drivers put in, we make sure that it covers all the expenses for themselves so they could get paid out, without us having to overstretch our budgets. And then for the partners, one of the things that we're doing, and we have realized that other competitions or events are not doing, is, some solid deliverables. And I'm not going to go into sharing our secrets, but I think that's what really makes us different than what's happening in the US, because we really are putting a big effort into giving some really cool stuff to our partners.
Yep. Lots of focus going in on all that. As Andy is tall pouring himself, or the long pour. Long pour of the beer. So you really scratched over something very important really fast. And I think we got to really discuss that is when we took your DJ equipment and threw it in the back of my pickup truck at ASB and started our own mobile DJ service cruising around. Andy, were you not there for that one?
Which year was that?
It had to been like 3 years ago, I guess.
Like
it was not that long.
Yeah,
like
it was like 3 years ago.
or something like that.
Okay.
Legit, we were all up at Horse Thief Mile, and we were all partying, and, there's all the guys down at the streets, and just, us being party animals, we're up there, we're like, hey, let's go grab everyone else. And so we threw the generator in the back of the pickup truck. RJ throws all his equipment in the back there, and we're just cruising around DJing, having a freaking blast, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And so, literally, we were discussing Hotpit, and we didn't know it was Hotpit then. We were just like, man, it sucks that, we could see that this was fizzling out. We knew Charlie was kind of fizzling out on wanting to do ASB stuff. Top Drift was kind of fizzling out. Drift League was doing really good at the time, but it was, I would say, just a Pro-Am competition, and it didn't have the numbers, right? It didn't have the drive. And me and RJ both having, let's say marketing business background, we knew that we could do something on a little bit larger of a scale. And at the time, we didn't even really realize how big it would be, but I knew that I wanted to bring in my pro friends to come in and drive, because you, as being a pro spec driver, technically weren't really allowed to drive in Pro-Am because everyone would yell at you and be like, hey, man, you're taking someone's license away.
I'll do it, too.
Yeah, you would. You got all your freaking, what were you, 3-time champion your last year?
Well, in the Pro-Ams?
Yeah.
Well, I earned 2 licenses in 1 year.
Yeah, didn't you? I thought you were like 2-time champion in 1 year in 2 different divisions or something. Well, I guess you got your license in 2 different divisions.
Yeah, I got licensed in 2 different divisions.
Yeah.
Vegas Drift and Just Drift in 2013.
He was guaranteeing he was going to get in there.
Yeah.
So me and RJ have been working our ass off. RJ, you've got a ton of things that you've got to do on a daily basis for Hotpit. What were some of your goals that you wanted to see going into the future of Hotpit?
I mean, for me, it is very important that this series not only educates, newcomers into the sport, but we actually show, from family, police officers, cities, etc., that drifting is not a bad sport. And that's what happened, with last year in San Bernardino. Like, legitimately, we had the police, the chief of police of the county of San Bernardino come to Hotpit, and he had no idea what drifting was until he saw what it was. And then, the following day, he brought a few police officers in their motorcycles, and they were like, holy crap. So this is drifting, not the takeover situation. And, I spent a good, I would say like half an hour speaking with them. And for me, that's a big goal, like the differentiation between drifting and takeovers and all that. And then for people, to be able to enter the sport in a safe way. Because right now, unfortunately, California is shutting down a lot of tracks and a whole bunch of different things. And there is limited spaces to go and drift. And I think one of the things that it's important for me is to really teach people, that you could enter into the sport and be good and responsible without having to spend $100,000. You could, do it step by step. Like, once again, going to Flavor Express events, that they are done in a professional setting or semi-professional setting in a good track. Then moving up to us, and then going to FD, et cetera, et cetera. So that's a pretty, good goal for me.
Yep.
Cool. Should we pull Robin?
Yeah. Let's go ahead and pull Robin. Unfortunately, Andy booked like 15 dudes. It seems like we should probably almost have a Hotpit episode on its own just to describe what it is, but that'll have to be for a later date. Right now we've got like 15 more dudes.
With Robin and RJ, just have them come down and we'll do one here.
Yep.
All right, so let's pull Rob in. RJ, thank you, sir.
Thank you, buddy.
We appreciate you. We love you.
It's Thursday, so it's his date night. He's got to put in some work.
Enjoy your day. Yeah, put in your work.
He's got a couple little babies over there, so he only gets one night off.
I do.
Yeah.
All right, well, have fun, buddy. Yeah, good to see you.
Peace.
What's up, dude?
What up, duder? Hey, we could probably see him the entire time, right?
Yeah. Can you turn your phone sideways? We'll get way better YouTube.
How does this work when we're watching it? Are you going to see the entire screen, or do you just pull him out of there?
I cut it down to just him.
Oh, you're going to suck it right into him, huh?
There we go.
Let's see how that goes.
Hey, buddy.
Sweet.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, so this hair is getting really itchy. I don't know how the hell you long-haired handle this, bro. Like, I'm getting hot. I don't know. Is it like, Rob, can we see your hair, bro? You got that sexy hair going on.
He does.
You want me to bust it out right now?
He looks like Steven Seagal right now.
Bro, goes down my stomach, man.
Yeah. So RJ talked about Flavor Express. So how long has Flavor Express been doing events? First of all, let's introduce this man.
Yeah.
This
So
is
Rob
Rob.
is another partner of Hotpit and co-founder. When I knew that me and RJ were discussing this a few years ago,
Event specialist.
he essentially, I was like, hey, of course I know how to run a drifting program and all this, but I know that I'm going to have so many other steps I got to do. We need to bring someone else in that is at the ground level, who knows all the drivers, who knows how to run a drift event, someone that I can yell at and be my right-hand man during the day, and I've yelled at him plenty of times.
Oh, yeah.
Probably at least twice today. So, this is Rob, and he kicks ass at yelling at other people for me.
Yeah.
Tell us about yourself, Rob.
Yep. How's it going, guys?
It's going great, bro. You're on camera. Now's your time to shine.
When did Flavor Express start? And why did you start it?
So I was kind of like lost in what I was doing. I didn't really know what I wanted to do after college. I was just like, testing stuff out. I started Flavor Express by myself. It started as like kind of like a nonsensical, I don't know, just like, I don't want to say it was strictly like cannabis stuff, but it kind of was. I was really into the movement back then.
The movement.
And things just got really big, and I had this brand, and I didn't know what to do with it. COVID hit, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just give it a shot and spend some money.
Wait, are you saying Flavor Express started out as a cannabis brand?
Yeah, it did.
Oh shit! I did not know this.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
This kind of says a little bit more to the name.
Yeah, but it's so California.
Flavor Express, bro.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. I started that in 2014.
That's like the weirdest rebrand I've ever heard.
Yeah, I went from being a freaking pot dealer to drift dealer. I like it.
I wouldn't put it that way exactly, but I was really about the whole movement back then. I started Flavor Express in 2014.
Rob, I'm about the movement too, but anytime I try it, man, I'm only moving for like an hour and then I fall asleep. That's a fun movement, but goddamn,
not much of a
it's
movement.
not much of a movement.
Seems like you do less movement.
No, that's why I stick to drinking. I can't handle that kind of movement. Yeah. So Rob, tell us. This is more focused towards hot pit stuff. That is amazing to find out about that for Flavor Express. How did you feel about coming over to Hot Pit and the role that we threw at you and the jobs that you do on a daily basis and getting to yell at all these drivers on a competitive level?
So Flavor Express gave me a lot of skills that I moved directly into Hot Pit with. It gave me a lot of connections and people who I can rely on to help me in Hot Pit, and it really went hand in hand. I didn't see the type of competition that I wanted to in California, and I was already thinking of doing something similar. So when Jeff, you and RJ approached me, I was like, this is perfect. This is perfect timing. Everything's lining up, and it just worked out really well.
It's been working out really well. We were told we had a little bit of echoing going on while we're talking.
The echo's only through the Discord.
Might be me, might be Discord call.
We don't have any echo on the record.
We're so new at this. We got to figure this out.
Yeah. If they hear echo, screw them. They can deal with it.
Okay.
They won't hear it on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it. You won't hear it on the tubes.
Yeah.
Only on the boobs.
Cool.
Sorry, I say dumb things.
So, let's see here. What else would we have for Rob? What is your job at Hot Pit really? I mean, like, what is your main focus? I always see you on grid sending drivers and all that. Are you just basically kind of like the driver liaison and general operations?
Man. What is not my job in Hot Pit? That's a better question.
Right.
I do so much that
there's a lot more. Go ahead and give it a quick list, because people, even myself, man, we originally thought, all right, here's our daily task, at the track. Mm-hmm. The behind the scenes. Rob, give them a kick down of like your daily basis for Hot Pit.
So literally every day. I wake up, check my emails for Hotpit. There's usually like at 5 to 10. On a good day, there's only 5 I got to reply to. On a rough day, there's 10 to 15 I got to look at, forward it to everyone else. I go down the list of I contact sponsors with Jeff. I get all the logistics like the track layout and track map and setting up like different contacts with Jeff and RJ. Financial stuff we go over all the time. Getting trophies, getting the checks. Really, honestly, I have dabbled in everything that we do in Hot Pit. Yeah, there's nothing I haven't really done yet. We've kind of covered it all, to be honest.
Nice, very nice.
We don't have the exact structure laid down yet. I'd be honest to say, but we have our main focal points that we do.
Yeah.
And it's like, so basically, if you want it to be a driver in Hot Pit, you first email us or you go through our Instagram, and then Rob's kind of the first gate you got to get through. Right, so that's one big task because we get a lot of drivers from across the country, and sometimes they're takeover dudes, and it's like, well, do you compete? Do you got any of this kind of level stuff? And then all kinds of other just random things that happen. So, would like to say we just show up to the track and have some fun, but there's way more to it than that. And
I just show up to the track and have some fun.
Pretty much,
you guys are doing way too
and then
much
Rob also coordinates the entire track staff for day of, right? So. Rob, give a quick shout out to all the boys and all the names for track staff day of.
All right, so our main dude who runs the line, that's Tim, Race Club Fabrication.
Tim's awesome.
Yeah, Tim's awesome. They're
all awesome, but Tim, he runs start line and tech, so if he messes up, we're all screwed.
Yeah.
Got batteries flying out of cars and stuff.
Then we got Andy, my boy from Guam. He puts in a lot of work as well.
He's the quiet starting line, not starting line guy, the guy that points a flag and says if you won or not. But he's the quietest guy.
Yeah. He's getting better, though. He's learning how to take that initiative and yell at people a little bit. Yeah, and then we got a few others. We got the girls in the back. Can't forget them. We got Marianne and Brittany. Marianne's my girlfriend, and then Brittany's Tim's wife. They run the back gate, and they do a really good job back there checking people in.
Moral of that story is if you work for us and you have a girlfriend or a female other, they're working for us too.
Yeah, pretty much.
At volunteer rates.
Volunteer rates.
Yeah.
They actually get a rate?
We'll get to Big Macs at some point.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
It's just cheeseburgers for now.
Yeah. It's amazing
Happy meal.
What it adds up to be.
Yeah, so they do a good job back there. Yeah, and then we have a few others that come on and off from time to time. My boy Chino is one of them. And those are the main, that's the core group of our track staff.
Who's the one that works the hardest?
We all work pretty hard. But me and Jeff usually have a competition at the end of the day to see who we look at our phones, how it has the health app on there.
Oh, yeah,
Who takes the most steps.
That's a tough one. Jeff's like moving around the whole event, but you're always on your feet.
There have been some days where I ran didn't run 30,000 steps.
Yeah.
Like Jeff took like 26 to 28 one time.
Yeah. See, he usually does beat me in actual steps taken. I argue that I have to run up and down those goddamn bleachers every time. And I'm literally running up and down them. Oh, my freaking old knees are hurting by the time I'm done with that. So, all right. We do need to get to the next guest because Andy booked way too many.
No, I didn't.
Rob, thank you very much for coming on here and letting people see your face. But real quick, before you get off, I want to know whose hair is longer, yours or Andy's?
I think it's mine.
I don't know.
Mine's
Let's see.
Mine's past my
Does yours go to your nipples?
Let's see. Mine go to my stomach. Yeah.
And is that more of how long your hair is or how long your neck is?
Oh, his is longer. Shit.
Damn.
Ah.
Ah.
Oh, no, I don't know.
Look at that.
Close. It's close. Oh, yeah, it's longer.
He's got you beat, bro.
Damn. Damn it.
If he could just work out, he'd have that whole Thor thing
my
going
beard's
on.
longer, so at least I win there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Rob, thank you. You're awesome.
Good time, Rob.
You have beautiful hair.
No worries, guys. Take care.
Can we get a hair whip before you head out?
A hair, Like one of these?
Yeah, there you go. All right.
I hope you slow-mo
Thanks,
that.
dude. Thank you, buddy. All right, so we're bringing in.
Cheers, Rob.
I pronounced her name wrong last time. Is it Zandra or is it Zandara?
You know, I've always said Zandara.
Okay.
I
It's
might have been
Zandara.
messing this.
Okay.
Oh, hey, I'm
there
right.
it is. Okay.
I was like, I hope I haven't been
And
fucking
I
it up
even
the whole
wrote it.
time.
Well, then I wrote it down wrong too. That was my
All
problem.
right.
I wrote down Zandra. My bad. Zandara.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
happened
so
to me
Zan-
my whole life, so I go by Z.
Good.
Sweet.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
give us a quick background about yourself. You've been in the drift scene for a minute now, and you do way much more cooler stuff than just drifting. So there's a lot of awesomeness to you.
Oh, can you turn your phone sideways real quick?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's just better for
How's
YouTube
that?
stuff. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Well,
Because you
oh,
guys are all
that's weird.
sideways now.
Is it
but,
locked?
but now you're just
Now you're just sideways. That's weird.
now you're just on the
Can
wall.
you try rotating it the other way real quick? All right.
You
It's
didn't
doing
flip.
weird stuff.
How's that?
No, it's not. It's not flipping.
Still
That's
sideways,
weird.
right?
Yeah, it's still no. It's vertical, but it's sideways. All right, whatever. Go back to vertical. My bad.
Yeah.
It's just not going to work for us.
Yeah, it wasn't rotating for you.
Yeah, that's weird.
That is very weird.
Okay, so question was.
All right. Well, she's an actual fully on full badass. If you follow her
Stunt
Instagram,
driver, right?
stunt driver.
Mhm.
Well, I didn't want to give it away. I was gonna let her go ahead and tell it.
Okay.
Yeah. Spill the beans. You do cool stuff.
All right, yeah. So I'm doing this all wrong. I started off doing stunts, got into stunt driving, started drifting to get better at that. Now I just do stunts to pay for my drifting, which is not really how it's supposed to be, but I really like it.
You got bit by the bug.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I just started competing, and then when I got my license, it was sort of like, you have to. So
Yep.
And then what's your quick rundown? Where did you start drifting? East Coast, West Coast? Where were you at? And then where did you get your license at?
So I started West Coast. I came down to Willow Springs. That's when I met Jeff. I can't even think of how long ago that was. Did a drift school there, and then immediately bought a 240 S14. Brought that back to Canada, drove it totally stock for a while. 2J swapped it. That caught fire.
Wait. So now we've got two fire stories then.
Oh, we got so many.
Oh, yeah? Damn.
That car
Yeah.
caught fire twice.
Oh, wow.
I bought a Z and did a bunch of drifting actually on the East Coast in Montreal when I was working on a show there. That's when I caged that car, and that's the car that I LS swapped, brought back west again, and that's what I got my license in a shootout in 2021 through Spec D in Canada.
Cool.
Canada.
Very cool.
So you're Canadian?
I am Canadian. I'm from Vancouver, but I've relocated to Rosamond because I'm cool.
It's good to know you, buddy.
So do you think that you can outdrink us?
No.
No?
No.
I thought the Canadians.
What do they have? They have moose.
I might be able to
What do they-
outsmoke you. I'm from BC. But,
Oh, she was
Oh.
probably listening earlier.
Oh
I'm definitely
man,
not.
yeah.
No.
Flavor Express.
You could battle Andy. I bow out immediately.
but honestly, no, I'm a bit of a nerd, and I've had a few head injuries, so I take it easy on that stuff.
I think all drifters are nerds.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like when you really get to meet a drifter,
Yep.
you have to be to get into this. Like,
You have
Yeah.
to be a nerd, and like you gotta be kind of like, I don't know. A lot of them started from action sports. Did you do anything like bike, BMX, or like skateboarding or anything like that growing up?
So yeah, I like this is how nerdy I am. I used to play the flute, and I was a competitive trampolinist. And then I used
Oh,
to
wow.
bounce trampoline.
No way.
Kind of an
Okay.
extreme sport, but you wear a leotard, so it's not that cool.
Yeah, but I mean, you're essentially making your body do what you want it to do, and that is
Yeah.
essentially what.
so
all
what's your
extreme sports are.
flip count? What's your height count? What do
Oh
you?
yeah.
How do
Let's
you?
hear some stats on that.
Yeah,
Oh geez.
stats.
So usually we measure trampoline in terms of seconds per 10 bounce, and then there's a degree of difficulty without going too far into this rabbit hole. Each trick has a degree of difficulty based on the number of rotations and the number of twists. I
Nice.
stopped competing a long time ago. I could probably do like 17 seconds for 10 bounces, which is not very high. I'm a little bit under endowed in the lower half of my body, which doesn't help with the height component.
Mhm.
All right.
And then I could do like twisting doubles basically.
I wonder if Andy can Google you and find something to throw in there. Is that a thing? Is there videos on
most
floating
likely.
on the net?
There's
Is there a young
definitely
Zandara
videos.
doing backflips off of the trampoline?
I'm not sure about that, but there's probably a few things in my stunt demo that are vaguely
Yeah.
acrobatic. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
all
definitely
it is.
the her catching on fire. Probably. What is that, like a weekly basis that you're on fire?
Yeah, that's all I saw on her Instagram profile. I scrolled down, I was like, "Folly, Jesus!" Like,
Yeah.
what happened?
Yes, usually it's deliberate. A couple weeks ago, that was not so deliberate, so that sucked.
I imagine you were probably pretty calm during this
Yeah,
situation.
it's funny. My best friend was in the car with me. So even she was pretty calm, but we came around the corner at Sonoma, and I was looking the way I was drifting, and all the fire was blowing the other way. So it wasn't until I was in a straight line that I was like, "Oh, we're on fire. That's a problem." I got her out, but yeah, I was more just annoyed, that my fire suppression didn't do anything. My fire extinguisher didn't do anything. It took a long time to put out.
Did the suppression actually like go off, or did it not go off at all?
It went off, but it was a fuel fire. I think the fuel was pressurized and it just kept going. And then at one point there was like a short, and the car actually cranked, started, and tried to drive away while on fire,
Oh,
which was
Wow.
pretty
That's
hilarious.
a new one.
I saw that happen actually with, I think, Tony Cisneros actually back in the day at a round at Willow Springs. Same thing happened. Big fire, and it started to crank, and we were like, "Oh my god, like that can happen." Yeah, it can just.
Okay, that's one of the surprise attacks.
If you catch on fire, take it out of gear.
Take it out of gear.
Take it out of gear.
Well, all right. So very perfect example of something to do. I normally tell people make sure you turn the car off, hit your kill switch off if you can, because if it's a fuel fire, the faster you can get the fuel off, the better, right? And then again with the fire suppression systems, every Pro FD car has to have one.
Just get one.
I don't fully think that they work. Honestly, like if you have one nozzle in your engine bay and you have it pointed towards, let's say, the driver's side and not the passenger side, and the fire happens on the passenger side, it's like you'd almost like to be able to test the spray nozzle and see where it goes.
What I think they should have is a thing where you could switch it to either to have it go off in the cabin, go off in the engine bay, or go off in the trunk. Because if it goes off in the whole car, you're not getting all, say you have a fire in the engine bay, all of a sudden your interior and your trunk are now filled with
it's everywhere.
3/4
It's a
worth
mess.
of the bottle, and only 1/4 of your bottle went to where the actual fire was.
Yep.
So
And for sure you don't have a replacement.
No. But the point being is, like, it would be so much better if you could just, expel the entire bottle where the fire is.
Well, then that involves thinking as the fire's happening, and there's probably only a few people. I mean, I bet Zandara could do it because she's used to it. But
sensors for it too, like fire sensors. You can put
all
a
right,
sensor
that's
on
baller.
it. So you can put a sensor, and then like 3 small bottles maybe, and then if it senses fire, then it'll go off in the place that it senses fire. Because the sensors are really important for like off-road racing. Those Baja guys, if they roll over and they're in the middle of nowhere and they're knocked out and there's a fire. You better hope you have a fire sensor, and you better hope your fire suppression works.
That's some seriousness right there.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on topics right now. Zandara, you are going to compete for Hotpit for the first year. What changed your mind? Because I think you were clutch kickers, right? And you were when we talked, you said something about you were tired of rain and you wanted to come kick all the boys' ass on the West Coast. What's up?
Well, I really want a ton of seat time. The hot pit competition looks awesome, and yes, you're right. It rained every single round of clutch kickers, and it was usually we were standing in 6 inches at times. And also the drive is really long. If I don't have to drive through Texas this year, I know I'm going to have to, but the minimal number of times would be great, because I think I did it 4 times, and every time it's long.
Yeah. Are you taking the 10 through Texas?
Yeah. That's a long
the bad
journey.
One. I specifically don't take the 10 because I don't like to spend that much time in Texas.
That's a lot of time.
I always take the 40 and then I cut down to Florida or cut up to wherever I got to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are we good on all of our cameras?
So far, so good.
All right, cameras are still rolling. We always have technical difficulties every
always.
15 minutes, so I guess we're still doing good.
Still doing good. And we still got a couple minutes with you.
So we're excited to see you come into Hot Pit. So now that you did have that fire on your Z, is that still the primary car? What's the plan? What are you bringing into Hot Pit?
So that is still the car I intend to bring to Hot Pit. I'm currently in NorCal. The car is at Matt Field's shop. I've been stripping it today. We're doing some health tests on the engine. Hopefully the engine itself is good, because it's a total rewire and a total replumb, and I'm doing my best to get it done as quickly as I can. It's a lot, and I was trying to focus on my pro car to get that ready for testing, but it's a lot, but it's a manageable amount, and people have really
So
been
you said the pro
up.
car. Do you have a separate car?
I do. So remember that S14 with the 2J that caught fire?
Okay.
I've been through 3 2Js in it, but that's going to be the car that I bring to FD. It's a little bit more power, and I think the S14 is traditionally a more competitive platform, although you've been doing okay in a Z.
Yep. No, the Z, I definitely love the Z chassis. can't complain. And I think marketing and people wanting to throw parts at it and be a part of that is definitely helps you stand out and do something different. And it matches your name. So
I know.
I don't know. I definitely, when I think of you, I definitely think of the Z chassis for sure. And
I'd like to do a 2JZ or maybe even a 400 would be cool.
yeah.
But my car, my 350 with the LS, it's just a little too far. The way that it's modified, in order to pass tech for FD, it would require a lot of kind of backwards movement. That would be
All right.
hard. Like my dash is totally non-standard, although it's out now. My steering column, like the seating position, Z's aren't really designed for people at any extreme of the dimension spectrum, it seems like. So I can drive like a T-Rex, or I can use an aftermarket steering column, but I'm not allowed to do that in FD. So.
Yeah, or you take a penalty hit on the
points.
3 points per thing. Yeah, Andy's in that ball game.
We tried very
You're
hard.
screwed in every direction,
tried
right?
very hard. We had a petition done. Every single pro spec driver signed it, even the ones who didn't have it. And then that's when they decided to give us a points deduction if we don't comply with the rule.
Yeah.
Which is weird because like they've never done that before. I want to say, I don't think they've ever said, well, you can break this rule, but we're going to take points away.
Yeah.
I think they must recognize that, like, what are people going to do? Like, that's
there's certain,
so hard to
there's
modify the cars.
certain people that can't do it. But yeah, I mean, it puts me in a tough spot because now I got to take all
Well,
this stuff
you
off
could
my
argue
car.
both sides of that spectrum, right? So, like, let's say you're in someone who is coming in your first year, and you're like, hey, this is getting my feet wet this year. I don't expect to be the championship player here. I just want to get through the 4 rounds.
Yeah.
Maybe take the penalty hit, and
Yeah.
it's not that big of a deal. You're not building a whole new
Yep.
car in a rush.
Yep.
Or you're on the other side of the spectrum, like yourself, where Andy, you came in third in the championship. You needed those points, right? So you really don't want to take a point hit.
Nope.
So I feel like if you know, not playing yourself down, but if you just know this is your first year, maybe it's your second year, but you just know, hey, I'm not going for the championship points. We're going to, get our feet wet and do what we need to do. Maybe worrying about the championship points isn't a big deal.
Yeah.
Whereas if you are fully going for championship points, you're going to need every single point you can get because, it might come down to
I'm
3
wondering
in
how
the
many
end.
people would actually adopt that mentality because people are, everybody here is so competitive.
Well, so I adopted that mentality probably my 3rd year of FD. I remember them saying something along the lines of, if you guys don't do this, we're just going to deduct points. And we were in the meeting, and I was like, cool, bro, deduct some points. I'm sitting in 30th. What are you going to do? It's
Yeah,
like,
right.
fuck off.
Take them away.
Yeah,
Go
take my
ahead.
points away. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, because it's only really going to matter for the next 10. So, all right, Andy's ringing the clock here.
Yeah,
So we're
yeah.
really excited to see you come to Hotpit. And so I guess we're going to see the Z. That's the plan. That's the goal right now.
That's the plan.
Awesome.
I'm working hard at it.
I will let the cat out of the bag and let you know why we still have you. Formula Drift, Kevin Wells, is going to do an official Formula D Tech Day at March 5th, round 1. So if you did find a way to bring your pro car down, he would be able to pre-tech it prior to you driving all the way to Atlanta to find out if it fails.
That'd be a good
That
call.
is a good option. If that car is running by then, it might be my backup. I would just hate to. I don't want to be any less aggressive for any reason, and I am concerned about writing that car off, doing something dumb just before round 1.
Yep. Well, all right. Thank you for participating in this. It's going to be rad. I think you are going to be the, we know for sure the second girl competing in Hotpit next to Shelly.
Yep.
And then there may be a third coming in.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
Oh, I'd love to see
So-
that.
Right?
Yeah.
Freaking chicks are trying to kick some ass over here, bro. You got to watch out. And I bet her hair is longer than yours, too.
Probably.
I
yeah,
have none,
yeah.
so it doesn't matter. Thank you very much.
Where
Thanks,
did your hair
guys.
go? He had hair a minute ago. Yeah, thank you. Have a good one. Nice to meet you.
Nice
Yeah.
meeting you.
Okay, so we have George Caracopoulos. George, turn your camera on.
Georgie boy, we're really flying through people.
Yeah, we are.
I feel
I'm
like
staying on
we're
schedule.
gonna have to bring all these people
Hey,
back
buddy.
later on at some point. Damn.
Can you turn your phone sideways?
Is he driving?
Yeah, dude, I'm like a shit show right now. Just trying. I've been at it in the morning. But
Uh-oh.
All I heard was
Is that
robot,
good?
robot.
No, you got some bad service there.
There you
No,
go. Now
no,
you're
I'm
good.
good.
Now you're good.
All right. So what's,
up, dude? Chilling, man. Chilling.
What's this shirt say?
Nice. It's it's Dune Riders from the Sand Dunes.
Dune Riders. All I know about George is I'm jealous.
Why?
Okay. He's the better bald-headed guy.
Oh, really?
He is constantly. He's got that sexy. He's constantly on the freaking lake. Every time I'm like, "Hey, what's up, dude?" I call him. He's like, "Turn your camera on." He's like FaceTime me on the freaking lake. He's got chicks just floating around him, and he's just spending that money.
Dude, I'm a single man. What do you want?
A single man. Yeah. Where does this magical money come from? It just always.
Dude.
Do you work? God damn. You must work on a boat, huh?
No.
You're selling ride-alongs on the boat?
No. I got 3 businesses.
He's the real God damn it, what's that guy's name? I can't think of his name right now. Brazilianaire?
Dan Balzerian.
He's the real Dan Balzerian. Dan Balzac.
Doesn't shoot as much guns though.
You got to shoot more guns, bro.
Yeah.
So what's good? What's in the plans this year? You better be I haven't seen your registration for Hotpit come in yet.
Yeah.
But are you coming to kick some ass? 'Cause you kicked some ass last year.
I plan on it. I'm trying to figure out what is going on with the audio right now. I guess we're doing this in the car because I'm already stuck to the car.
Stuck to the car.
Oh.
That's fine.
The Bluetooth is stuck.
Yeah, Bluetooth stole the conversation.
Yeah. You driving the Z again next year?
Yeah, so I'm building a couple cars right now. I'm just trying to get the time to be able to do everything because I have, like I said, I've got 3 businesses plus drifting. So, yeah, I'm building a G37 4-door that I'm building for a drift taxi for Fuel Fest and Grid Life. I don't even know if I should be saying this shit yet, but anyway, we're doing drift taxis at a couple the bigger, festivals. And then I'm building, no one actually knows about this, but I'm building an R35 too right now. Just like
damn.
Just like a demo, look at me, the big dick swinging, whatever. It's just an attention getter, it's going to be another NASCAR motor, blah, 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 all that jazz.
Nice.
And then,
I'm excited for George to come to Hot Pit. He's like the perfect driver for this. You did some pro spec stuff. You had some fun. I know he can rip, but he's so busy, Maybe Hot Pit just fits your...
Pro 2, don't put me in Pro Spec. Pro 2.
Pro 2.
Come on, don't kill me here. I've been around doing FD shit for, 12 years now? Better half of 12 years. I built cars for Danny George. I've helped build cars for Kenny Moen. I don't even know, man. So much shit. Forest, just all this stuff, and then built my own cars. And I don't know, man. It's been a wild ride, but as far as FD stuff for me, unless someone's paying for a ride, I'm not going back. I like my money too much.
Yep. And so how much money were you spending? So I know, what was it, round 1? Was it round 1 that you came in and got you got 3rd place, right?
Yeah, 3rd place. Honestly, I didn't really spend much at all. I think Hot Pit's on the right direction, and as far as just another drift platform that isn't like a pressure platform, you know what I mean, where some people are just going there most people go to different platforms to get a license, or they just, everybody uses every platform for their own preference, right? Like for me, I use Hot Pit as a way to come out, support you guys, because you're my boy, Team China. And
we did go to China together. That was fun.
Yeah, and I like coming out there and, get a little aggressive with it. I don't get too wild, but I like to come out there and compete. It's fun. Everything's super chill. It's definitely one of the better platform drift events you can go to. For me, anyway, that's pretty close, where you can kind of get your foot in the dirt and just be like, this is kind of how the big leagues kind of run. It's essentially the same thing, just a couple rules and other I don't know how to put this politely, other politics stuff that interferes and stuff like that. But we're not going to get into all that. But it's honestly a really good platform if people want to come in, shake the car down, start competing. Because the horsepower range there is just a wide range. The type of drivers are different. Everyone has a different style. So I think it's a good place for a driver that wants to go learn, or somebody that wants to be like, I want to shake my car down, see if it's even competitive or not, and I can go drive against somebody that's making 200 wheel, or I could be stuck driving against somebody that makes 1,000 wheel, you know what I mean? So it definitely gives you like a little taste of all that, you know. And the biggest thing is it's super fun. It's super lax, which is awesome. All the staff is always like on point. You guys are sharp. Everyone's happy. Good moods, good vibes. Like I haven't been to a hot pit event that I was like, damn, that was boring. You know what I mean?
This
like,
guy's a good spokesman for us.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna have to put this on a commercial.
We're clipping this one.
Yeah.
We're clipping it. Yeah.
Why'd I cut him off? Fuck.
It's pretty good, man. I mean, other than the building that was burning down next to us, I was like, man,
that was funny.
I start to get too close. I got to pound
there.
Yeah.
What was that? Round 2? There was legit a building on fire like next door, but it was like maybe like 2 or 3 next doors.
Yeah.
That was pretty wild.
I didn't on Jeff. I'm like, yo, if it comes 100 feet closer, I'm gonna load up and bounce out. I'll catch you next time. Like, I gotta go. I gotta go. But no, it's super cool. Like the whole platform's legit, and I hope it keeps growing. And I'm gonna push it. Everyone should push it, you know. And the car side of it and the music is super dope. It's like a little mini, you know, day grid life type deal, and it's nice. And I know Jeff puts a shit ton of effort in it, you know, personally through his connections, through work, and all that stuff. So a lot of the drivers, I don't think really realize how much you guys, especially Jeff, how much he puts into this. You know, it's like his little baby, and it's, you know, I hope everybody puts the same amount of effort into it. You know what I mean? And
I paid him to say all of this.
Yeah.
He didn't pay shit, no. But you know, I just hope everybody just keeps pushing on it because it's going to be a good event, and you know, if it can grow, that's great. You know what I mean? And obviously, the more income and money that comes into the venue, it's going to be better for the drivers, better for the viewers, better for everybody. And it's definitely going in that direction. So I will be coming to Hot Pit for a couple rounds for sure. I've just got to like figure out what's going on with Grid Life and Fuel Fest, you know, where they want me and all that jazz. But like I said, I do have 3 other businesses that I also have to worry about. That's how I pay for all my toys.
You're just trying to schedule it around your boat trips, man.
Pretty much.
Be honest.
Pretty much.
I mean,
his calendar is just every day. It just says boat.
I hope so. I gotta make it up there one day.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, I mean, what do you do when you run out of water? You're almost out of water up there, aren't you?
Dude, I'm either riding my chopper or out at the dirt, the motocross track, or I'm out in the side-by-side. I don't know, man. I'm just on my toys, just playing, dude. I'm just, you know, nothing.
I'm not gonna lie. Every
kid.
time I've gone and hung out with George in Vegas, I have like legit looked at Christina and said, "I think we're moving." I haven't fully pulled the trigger yet, but god damn it, man!
Yeah.
I went to his shop and he had AC.
Yep.
It was just him and his motorcycle right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're
definitely doing a good job. You're doing a very good job of like living a good lifestyle and letting drifting pay for it, right? Because you know, I know you're able to hustle the dollars and get some sponsors and help you out with that and tires. So George is definitely doing a pretty good job. I think people should like emulate that. And you know how he said he's going to Fuel Fest and going to the big events.
Yep.
You can make a career out of it when you do those certain things. Yep.
Yeah, people need to understand that there's more than just competitive drifting. You know, you can. I was never that much of a competitive person, to be honest. I never really gave a shit. I just did it because I loved it. You know what I mean? And I got to drift with my boys that I learned how to drive with. But now I've turned it into a business where I go. They pay me. I charge for ride-alongs. We charge $100. You know, and sometimes more, you know what I mean? And I take 30, 40, 50, 60 people for rides, man. You know, so you can turn it into a business and just go do a couple events, and there's no reason why you couldn't walk away with 50K, you know? And that's just, obviously that's before, like, it's a lot of Ks, man, but, you know, you just got to learn how to use, everything's a platform.
Your name has a lot of Ks, dude.
It does.
Yeah, oh, there we go. Can you give the official way that you pronounce your last name?
Caracopoulos.
Facts. 200%, yeah, Caracopoulos. It's facts. Honestly, everything is a platform. Learn how to use it properly, and it'll make you money. It's just how you look at things. You know what I mean? It's just everything's perspective and perception of how you look at shit. I look at everything as a business point of view. I don't, you know, and the driving is just the fun part, right? Like the driving is just my reward for busting my ass, building all this shit, you know, getting to these events, and you know, I like walking around, meeting drivers, saying hi to people who don't even know me. You know, people say hi to me. I don't even know them, you know, but I like talking to them, just looking at their cars. Like, everything is just a platform and a perspective, right? So, as a driver, you can go control that, and you can decide whether you want to go multiple different avenues in life with drifting. I think drifting can open a lot of doors for a lot of people. I mean, look at Matt Powers, you know what I mean? He drove FD for a couple of years, and he was like, Deuce, I'm going to go be a stunt guy and go do this, and he's making a killing.
And Surfer Boy.
Killing.
Yeah.
Like
honestly,
killing.
I learned that from Matt. Like me and
Yeah.
Matt, when we have like some serious conversations, and I learned that from Matt. And I just watched him like, wow, this dude's doing the same shit he wants to do, but he's making money. He's not spending $150 or plus whatever $1,000 a year to go run. He's getting paid to be there. And I was like, we're sharp, right? We're going that way.
Everyone has a different outlook on drifting. Yep. George is doing a pretty good job.
200%.
What vehicle are you in right now, bro? What baller thing are you in right now?
Don't make me answer that.
All right.
I'm in my.
I don't know if it's good or bad.
I'm in my 7 Series, my M7. God, that sounds terrible.
Nice.
Yeah.
Someone stab him through the phone or through the Discord.
Yeah.
I sold the Z06 though. I did get rid of that because I didn't use it enough. I did sell the Z06.
Nice.
It had 4 tiles on it. I was like, I gotta get rid of this thing.
I feel like you just you said that you may not be able to do all the rounds of Hot Pit. I feel like you can just park one of your multiple cars down at Orange Show somewhere and just fly in, right? Just hop out of a helicopter, parachute in, or whatever it is that you do, right? Hop in the car, do a couple laps, and you're good.
First of all, totally off topic. I just had 4 sets of rear tail lights set for my sponsors. I'm going to bring you a set for your car because I know the pain of headlights and tail lights on a Z. I have a secret stash for Jeff. I'm going to bring him to Hotpit for you.
No, the first year we were definitely trading parts when I got into the Z. Because I was getting stuff from him. He was like hitting me up for a door.
Dude, I broke a rear tow arm at Fuel Fest, and Matt Field was in front of me. Forrest was behind me, and I don't remember who else. And I broke a rear tow arm on like the last turn, and the tow arm got like stuck into the wheel, like violently spun the V8 car.
Oh wow!
Forrest comes in head first, wipes out the whole front clip. We're talking dash bar, oil cooler, everything. And the first words out of my mouth, I'm like, oh my God, tell me my fucking headlights aren't broken. I'm like,
yes.
I was like, I don't even give a shit about the body. Tell me the headlights aren't broken. Like, oh my God. And thank God they survived, but the whole front clip was gone. Frame rails and everything.
Z's do that a lot. Like, you'll rip off. I did that with my Z at Irwindale. I smashed the whole front end, and the headlights were just fine.
Yeah.
I went head on. Like,
Got
I
lucky on that.
snapped back at the top of the bank and went right up into the wall and just smashed everything up front, and the headlights were still good. I was like, oh,
I bet the frame rail 7 inches to the right. I'm like, I don't even.
I bet my frame rails too that day. Yeah. It's crazy.
Tell me the headlights are good.
That's awesome.
Another pair. Oh my God.
Yep.
All right. I think we're ready to pull in.
All right, George. That's your time, bud. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you,
buddy.
buddy.
And I will still continue calling you George K-Pop because I cannot pronounce your last name.
Love
you, buddy.
K-pop.
Hey, watch Instagram stories. We're going clubbing tonight. It's going to get rowdy. You're going to love the show.
Awesome.
Later, dude.
Later, boys.
Okay, we're pulling in.
He's having too fun. He's having too much fun. Are we good on cameras?
Yo, Mr. Brightslide. Thank you, sir. Can you unmute yourself and turn on your camera, please? Phone sideways, preferably. Oh, what's up, dude?
Damn, right out the muscles.
Can you throw your phone sideways? Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Damn, muscle man.
I bet he did push-ups before he got on.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I saw his videos.
I'm actually sick, so I haven't worked out in a few days.
I don't know, man. I saw the videos.
Still pretty juicy.
Yeah.
What's up? Are we in your bedroom? Thanks for inviting us in. Didn't even buy you dinner.
Yeah, I know,
We just walked right into this spot.
You're in the guest room. You're in the guest room.
Dressed to impress and everything.
We don't get to go in the bedroom yet.
Yeah.
Guest room. That's fine.
Yeah.
Where are you guys at?
This is
my shop.
Sweet.
La Casa de Andy.
Yeah.
Well, the other casa. He's more here than his home, I think.
And, the jewel of Los Angeles. We're in Chatsworth, California.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're almost
neighbors. A lot of fun adventures are filmed here.
Yeah. You're in Simi, right? Or
Encino.
Oh, and you're in Encino. Okay, cool. Yeah, you're right around the corner.
I have no idea where Encino is at.
It's like 405 and the 101, basically.
But that's where the movie was filmed, right?
Encino Man.
They actually filmed that in San Dimas, but they called it Encino Man.
Lies!
I know. Yeah.
That's terrible. Okay, so we brought you on here to talk about your workout regimen. Go ahead. Let us know. Andy, can you show us your muscles real quick?
What kind of supplements are you using?
This is all the comparison of Andy and hair and muscles.
I got a long sleeve on under this. It's not going to work.
I can put my hoodie back on if it'll make you feel better.
Well, you're making Andy concerned over here, bro.
Yeah, I'm feeling, a little threatened, I feel
You're okay. All right, so you've got a pretty cool whip.
BC, and thanks to Cody sending me this. This is my favorite hoodie actually right now. It's one of the.
Oh yeah.
It's like the BC, but it's like double black.
Nice, nice black embroidery on the black sweatshirt.
It's like I want to plug my sponsors, but not fully. It's like I actually want to wear this outside kind of thing.
No, it's just like if you know, you know.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I got to agree that like sometimes sponsors, businesses, they're just like, yeah, I want my logo. I want it everywhere. I want every single person to see it. And you're just like thinking to yourself when they give that to you, like, I'm not gonna ever wear that. But if you do a cool design, like the Link ECU stuff's pretty rad.
Yeah,
right?
I love this.
It's got the crazy little guy. It's like, wow. I feel like that's kind of cool. So the BC logo, that's pretty cool. It's like, I'll rep this, but I don't want to rep this, but I'll fully rep this.
Yep.
I like it.
So, Mr. Elliott here. How did you get into drifting and how long have you been doing it? Because I've only seen you at Hotpit stuff, to be honest.
And why did you pick a Mustang?
Yeah, why did he pick a Mustang?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I only started competitively drifting round 2 of Hotpit last year. That was my first comp. But I've been drifting since like 2014 or so. I'm from New York. I went to school in the Bronx for my medical training. And as my gift to myself for getting into grad school, I leased an FRS because I knew I'd be able to buy it out at the end of the lease. And 3 months after I started the lease, I took it to E-Town in Jersey, and I would drive it there, just a couple of extra loose tires in the back, a couple sockets and a jack, no jack stands, and just burn a couple and change them myself with the tire machine, drive back. I always thought it'd just be like kind of, for fun, shits and giggles.
That's a very fun, casual little outing right there. And that guy was like pretty stock, or did that have an angle kit? What'd that have on it?
FRS only had like Megan extended inner tie rods.
All right.
And then coilovers from.
I'm just thinking that's not the best car to start with.
No,
I've driven a few of them. They don't feel, I don't know, up to par as a lot of other vehicles that you can hop into.
Yeah, Aaron when he first met me was like, "Yeah, wow, you like all the weird cars." He was like the FRS, the Mustang. I had an RX-8, Celicas, Mark IV GTI. So just a weird collection. I have a Corvette now also, but I don't drift that. And I don't know. The FRS was like a reliable, semi-reliable, fun new car. I had followed the FT1. Concept car. I thought it like a lot of people, we thought it was going to be the new Supra, and then FRS came out and I was like, yeah, all right, well, whatever. I've been waiting fucking 7 years. I guess this is what we've got.
It's a great looking car. Like as far as like street car went, if I needed a street car around that time, I would have got one.
The FRS?
Yeah, and if I didn't have Gonzo, if I didn't have a dog to haul around with me all the time, I really liked how they look. And like when they first came out, people were comparing them to E30s for some reason. There was a couple of articles where they're like, this is like a really good driver's car and this and that. And there was a whole bunch of stuff comparing them to.
They are really. They're like think of like everything a Miata does, but add like 3 more points scale.
Yeah.
It's a full car version of a Miata. Miata's a go-kart.
I'll go with that as an example.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But when I hopped in a few of them that were pretty stockish, coilovers and exhaust. Man, I couldn't get over the steering. I felt like I was drifting a car, but with a sim wheel.
Yeah, the steering
it felt plasticky. Like the bump stops when you would hit it, it just didn't feel perfectly connected. And then the throttle by wire felt a little off.
Are they electric assisted steering?
I don't know. Are they?
It's a manual rack with an electronic assisted column.
That's why.
Maybe that's why I hated it.
Yeah, felt like a sim.
I didn't like it.
The Mustang is actually also an electronic rack, but it's the actual rack that's electronic. They're both they're very different than like a Z or an E36 that have like really good self-steer 240s. Personally, I've never really liked those cars just because of I don't know. I like doing more of the work myself. I'm kind of fond of a phrase, why easy when there is hard. I don't think that the easy stuff is always what's best in life, and I enjoy kind of working for stuff. I had an E36. I've had 2 E36s over the course of life, and they're fun, but I just didn't. I don't know. It felt like it was doing too much of it for me. And Aaron's argument for that to me has always been like, well, I want to like do close tandems. My argument is just like I want to have fun no matter what, and I still want to do close tandems, but I want to do it, not the steering rack. So, but to each their own. I think if you take any car to a high enough level, it's no longer really what you started with.
This is very true. Very true.
The characteristics of an FRS with an LS in it and a Wisefab kit and coilovers.
Well, that's a whole other animal for sure.
A whole different car, Yeah. But in the stock form, I think the FRS is kind of fun in the way that like it doesn't burn any tires. Mm-hmm. It's very cost effective. The aftermarket supply and used parts are super cheap and abundant. But the power was just shit, and it's really hard to get a lot of angle.
So so you've got a bunch of weird cars. Mm-hmm. Which is your favorite, and what is your go-to when you were picking either one of those 3 or 4 weird vehicles you picked?
So I guess in my own history, right? My favorite is probably the Mustang. I actually almost bought another Mustang as a daily to turn into more of what the Mustang was before, as a more street friendly car, to kind of drift sometimes, but also daily. I decided against that because of peer pressure. Got a Corvette, but
so is that Mustang, off of looks? Is that suspension based, horsepower based?
So when I saw the 2015s come out, I liked that they added independent rear suspension. The look of it was more aggressive. I think more kind of a better version of the classic versus with the modern design. And then the 18 Plus just kind of sharpened it up, added another 40 horsepower. And I was like, all right, I'll give this a try. Because in the FRS, I got stuck chasing power. So this was an easy way to have cheap power that was pretty reliable. I've got almost 50,000 miles on that original Gen 3 Coyote, and at least 30,000 of those are dedicated drifting miles. And
that's a lot of freaking miles for drifting.
That's nutty.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I put 20,000 miles on the car last year, in a 12-month span, and that includes driving the thing from LA all the way to Oklahoma, down to Houston, all the way back for the last drift week. Did two full drift weeks on that thing, and another car on the trip had a Coyote swap, and they dropped 2 quarts of oil on the drive in between 2 places without knowing it. Car's fine, engine's happy, no oil, no metal in the analysis. So they're really reliable, and the Mustang, everything on it is just built super beefy. If you look at the tie rods, they're bigger than an E30's stock axles or an FRS's stock axles.
Really?
You look at the axles on the car, it's the size of the control arm for another car. Everything is just, it's heavy, which is the downside there, but if you learn to drive that, it's actually, I think, much more fun. I tried to drift an FRS again after I had the Mustang. It was man, this just isn't as much fun for me. Again, I'm sure if I added another 300 horsepower and a fat angle kit, I'd say different, but just, simple car to simple car, it wasn't as fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's kind of the same thing we were talking about with those Corvettes too. When you buy into something that has a good engine package, off the bat, it's just that much easier to get the car set up and going,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You got your wiring harness done, you got your headers done, you got your exhaust done, you got your intake done. All these things that you got to think about when you do a swap are just done.
It's done.
Yeah.
It's done. Ready to go.
What about the RX-8? That's an odd one to throw into the mix. And
right?
was it still rotary?
So that was my second car ever, actually. I was in college, and I had just so my first car was a Celica. And when I was a kid, a lot of people, you don't really understand
Which one did you have? Was it the one that's you're going too fast, slow down? That one.
It was the last one.
Do you remember that commercial?
No.
It looked like a 350Z, right? It came out before a 350Z, and it looked like a fast looking car, the 2001 version, right? 2002 or something.
That's what I had. Yeah, it was.
And there's a picture of. What is it, a billboard of it, and then there's an old man. He's pointing at it. Yeah, he's yelling, "Slow down!" Because it just looks like you're going fast. And then every car after that car came out started having, not every car, but a lot of cars started having that 350Z style headlight, that Toyota Celica headlight. And I remember the whole styling curve kind of changed after that car came out.
Yep. You started to see those giant headlights
Yeah,
that were
started a
more
trend.
part of the body panels than
Yep.
like an external part
Very
of the car.
expensive.
It just looks like the body panels itself kind of flow into the headlights.
So you're gonna you said that was your first competitive, was round 2 of Hot Pit. So
Yeah,
was
that
there
was
was
my
there like a
first-
bug that kind of bit you? Are you kind of going more competitive now, or is this just you just want to have fun and then compete at the same time? What's your plan moving forward?
My mission with drifting is to continue to have fun as much as possible. If I'm not smiling, I'm not. Doesn't make sense. I think that's my motto in all of my life. But
Nice.
the reason I think I'm like in the comp spirit is just because with everything I do, I'm always like I want to like do more, like notch it up. I'm kind of objective oriented that way. I told someone recently, they're like, oh, if drifting was only ever for me at AVS for the rest of my life, and I could never go to another track that's faster and stuff, I'd probably just hang it up. I love drifting, but I need to push the envelope with everything I do, and comp is the best way to get higher quality drivers and tandems. So I think I've just hit that point where that's what I'm chasing. So
Yeah,
Hotpit is
once you reach a goal, you have to set another one, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I won. My goal, it's funny, my initial goal was just to like win a comp, and I was like, all right, I'll win a comp and then see what happens. And maybe that'll satiate me, maybe it won't. But I won Drift League, the cash out event. And I was like, oh, I like this. I still want more. And so like, hopefully, maybe win a championship one day. So it's cool that Hot Pit is like a full championship instead of just like a single shootout thing. It's like a continuous goal you can work towards. So I'm excited for the season. Excited for a lot of the drivers coming down. I heard DJ's coming down. Got to see him drive and win at Sonoma, so it'll be cool to get to drive with him. He's actually he had to borrow some of my wheels for that event, so I was very happy to see my wheels win win a license.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, nice. I've borrowed Kangushi's wheels one time. I don't even think he knew it. We were just out of wheels and tires and literally had to grab something for a battle. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's a testament to Hot Pit being pretty fun. That was a big goal of ours, is to make sure that it is a fun competition. And don't get me wrong, you can have fun all the way to the top of Formula Drift. But if you are, bottom 32 of FD and spending 50 to 100 grand, it really sucks. And I know how that feeling is. I did that for a long time. So, So, that's a big part of Hot Pit, trying to make sure every single driver gets a tandem battle, everyone has some fun. So I hope that you can go and compete and have some fun doing it, and feel like you can keep leveling up.
No, I see this dude driving like everywhere too. Like,
and his little trailer. He's got a badass little trailer.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's freaking huge, bro. It's like it can pull a house. Explain your trailer.
So yeah, I drive the Mustang to all my events. I've never owned a truck and trailer. I have a little Harbor Freight trailer on the back of the Mustang now that I haul like 20 tires with me.
20?
How big is it?
My record is 21 or 22 and about 300 pounds.
It's no bigger than this coffee table.
Oh, it's a little mini trailer?
I don't know how he gets 20 tires on there.
9 foot by 4 feet.
And you get 20 tires in there?
Yeah, I found that stacking them on their sides actually works the best.
How fast have you gone with that thing?
110.
What? Why?
We have to get to Sonoma, and
Oh my God! Why
dragging
would you
their
do
ass.
that? Those tires probably aren't meant to go over 50.
No.
110,
They're
55.
rated for like,
Like those little freaking
55
tiny little.
Yeah, the donuts.
Yeah, a lot of people were like,
That's awesome.
I almost brought that to SEMA in Texas, but I wanted to be able to, keep up on the street with everybody else on the trip.
Yep.
So
That is commitment right there.
That's a flex. I like it.
That. Yeah, no, I like it.
I like it.
Yeah.
Where are we at on time? Are we good?
Yeah, let's get Advani in here. He just joined, so we're ready.
All right. I think we're going to move on. Thank you very much for coming on here and yelling at us.
Thank you, dude.
Appreciate it.
Having me.
We'll have to have you on for a much longer time at some point in the future.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Andy does all the bookings. You have to yell at him.
Dude, he's super close, so we could bring him in any day.
There we go. You might have to actually come in for one of these.
Yeah, let's do
Or
it.
we can go to his house and he might let us see the master bedroom.
Yeah, I want to see his workout routine.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually just dropped a YouTube video where
I
I
saw
shot out
that.
at Brumering Hotpit. I did a full body workout in my full suit. So
Did you see that one?
I saw the teaser. I'm still waiting to see the full thing.
full
I haven't
video
seen the
release.
full
So
okay, I got to see the full one. I only saw the teaser too.
Nice.
all right,
Thanks,
I'll
buddy.
let you guys go. Thank you.
Yep.
Have a
Thank
night.
you, dude. Yep.
Bye, Richard. Have fun with these boys. All right. Peace, bud.
What's up, Richard?
What's up, guys? I got
How you
Eric
doing?
coming here to join me too.
Oh, awesome. Cool,
Nice.
cool.
It's very bright in your house. FYI.
Should I make it less bright?
I don't know. Yeah, why is it so bright?
It's very bright. It's like,
oh, he's on his computer. He's got like a webcam thing. Maybe
okay.
he's
I got
got a phone
webcam,
camera.
mic, and lights.
Yeah.
It's a little bit on the brighter side of things.
I'm assuming that's Eric.
How's it going, guys?
What's up?
Maybe it's your screen brightness on your TV, your monitor. I don't know.
No, he's got a bunch of ring lights.
Maybe it's just you. Maybe you haven't been out in the sun in a while. Are you a vampire?
Turn the screen brightness down.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, Eric looks fine. It's just him.
It's a little better.
It's just Richard.
He's got 2 spotlights on either side.
There we go. Is that better?
That's a little better.
There
What's
we
up,
go.
boys?
Chilling,
What's
man.
up?
Chilling. Hanging out, talking about hot pit stuff.
So go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Mhm.
There's 2 of you on this one. So
Horsepower chasers.
horsepower.
They're
Well,
chasing.
Yes.
They're chasing it.
They're chasing.
I am Richard Idvani, Horsepower Chasers. It's interesting how that came about. So I had no social media, I don't know, 3 years ago. And, I've had a bunch of cool cars and I've been into cars. And then I got into drifting and everyone's like, dude, you need an Instagram. You need an Instagram. And I was so anti-social media. I didn't want to actually put my name out there and my face out there. So I created this, persona, essentially to share everything, but kind of be behind the scenes. And then, of course, FD happened and the rest is history.
And now you're vlogging all of your builds.
I mean, it's a good brand name. I like the name.
Yeah, no.
Like,
It is and it ain't because just like George earlier, K-pop, he was modified performance forever.
Yeah.
And so you do have that one problem of where it's not your name. So later on down the line, it kind of hurts a little bit. But I mean, usually I think either you can just change the name or people figure it out. Hopefully, you just kind of like you got to blend the two.
Yeah.
Right. But definitely for a while, I was following HP Chasers, but had no idea who you were. I'm glad I do now. But yeah, for a while I had no idea.
Yeah, I'm Eric Welch. I'm HP Chasers Eric on Instagram and stuff. Kind of swap my name. That same issue. I had a previous Instagram handle. I wanted something that show my path and my company and business that I work with. And I couldn't thank Rich more than I can for this opportunity to be here.
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys know the story. I met Eric on Driftway.
Tell us.
Oh yeah.
So actually, no, it's actually even better. So I got my when I was first building my Corvette, I got Drift Cave, built the cage, and did a bunch of other things to it. So I picked it up, and I'm heading back down to SoCal, and I see this this truck with a camper shell and a drift car on it, and it wasn't Eric, but it turned out to be one of his good buddies. And so we're cruising along, and I send him a message, and turns out we've got some mutual friends on Instagram. I'm like, where are you going? He's like, oh, I'm going down to this guy Sheldy's house, and I'm not sure if where it could stay at his house, but we're gonna park out front in his RV. And long story short, I'm like, dude, I've got plenty of space, And he's like, I don't even know you, man. We're just driving next to each other on the 5. And cool. So he ended up coming over and staying. And that night we're all sitting around drinking. And Spencer is his name. He actually got his license this year as well. And he's like, he calls his friend, who's Eric, and we're all sitting around drunk. And he's like, he's talking shit to Eric, this guy Eric. And he's like, you're not going to come over here. You should get on a plane right now and fly over here. And, 6 hours later, Eric shows up.
And he forgot me at the airport.
Damn.
He had his girlfriend come get me, I believe. I don't remember. I was still pretty buzzed when I got off the airplane.
So anyways, we hang out for like 4 or 5 days. Fast forward 10 months later, we go on Drift Week. And, I'm in way over my head. My car keeps breaking, and Eric keeps helping, out of the goodness of his heart. The most amazing thing I've learned in the drift community is just the quality of people is exceptional, and everyone will give you their shirt off their back. And that's what he was doing. And, after a day and a half of it, I'm like, dude, let me pay you for your time. It's not fair.
That's a testament just to your story right there about letting someone come stay the night.
Yeah, no, exactly. Right. It's amazing.
Freaking drifters.
Comes full circle.
Well, I mean, when you snuggle with someone like that, you get to know him real quick.
I actually slept in his yard in the trailer.
Well, I'm the big spoon and he's the small spoon, just for the record.
Okay.
But yeah,
Nice,
anyways, next thing you know, I wanted to do a shootout, and I asked him to come down and help me, and he really never left for 8 months. And then I think a year in, we made it official. And
I live here now.
8 months, dude.
Pretty much moved down off of hey, you want to come help me make this shootout? And we made it happen. I pushed off my work for supposed to be 2 weeks, ended up being a year, and then still here.
Hey,
almost 2 years later.
Rich is a good dude. I like this guy. I would work for him too. He seems like an all right dude.
Yeah, I can vouch for him. I've hung out with him a little bit.
Yeah, no,
and
I like him too. Yeah.
You are a pretty business guy yourself, and you've given a lot of advice to others on like housing and whatnot. So what do you also do for a living when you're not drifting around?
Me? Oh my God, man. Too much. Well, a lot of people told me when I started drifting, they're like, hey, dude, I know you do pretty well for yourself, but be prepared, because drifting's the next level. And, I can definitely attest to that, right? It costs so much money to drift, to do it, professionally. And, I also make up as much room, as much time as I have. I only sat foot in a drift car the first time in 2020. And so, yeah, it's cost a lot of money. And, so long story short, I've started multiple business ventures. I've got a rental car company. I've got a solar sales company that I've just started as well. And then I do mortgage, I do real estate. We've got a drift rental car business that we've started. We've got 2 cars ready to go. Hopefully we'll have some of them rented out at Hotpit. And then we started our shop too, so, building our cars, keeping Eric busy, helping build customer cars. So I don't really sleep much. But, I think I thrive moving 1,000,000 miles an hour. But
nice. And I bet you keep Eric really busy.
I get that vibe from you. When I talk to him, he's talking, and it's like, he's not on drugs. He's just really into what he's saying.
Yeah. It sounds like the last few guests we've talked to, you definitely got to hustle, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, man.
You guys are all hustling to make this kind of happen and work your ass off. And, Eric, you've found yourself into an adventure with someone who can help you also live your passion. And I've kind of described this to people that always ask me, how do I become a pro driver? There's a lot of aspects to that, right? But one of them is figuring out a way to make your life work around just living this drift life, right? Like, you either got to find someone who's got space to park a big ass trailer and stuff, some type of job that's going to let you have a lot of time off of work, because drifting takes, you're traveling, it's a lot of time off, I'm like 3 months a year, probably literally not home at all, and I'm just traveling, and you're not even working, right? 3 months is like traveling, working on cars, so you're literally like not making money while you're doing that. And so, yeah, man, you guys are hustling your ass off over there.
Yeah, no, I pretty much, my whole life, I wake up, go to sleep, eat, drift cars. That's it. I wake up, walk out of my house, and I have a C5 sitting there. We have a drift car down here for Drift Week coming in that just came in from Florida. Walk across the driveway. There's a next year's C6 sitting in one garage stall. And then we have last year's Pro Spec car that's torn apart right now in the other garage stall. So it's pretty much, my whole life revolves around drifting, and I couldn't ask for anything better, honestly.
That's pretty nice.
Freaking somehow I've been able to keep my wife through all of it.
Drifting takes your soul. It doesn't take, it takes everything from you.
So, funny question. So, all right, how long have you and your wife been together?
8 years now. Like, not married, married 4 years, but
and you said that you just got into drifting in 2020?
Yep, yeah.
So she didn't know about this terrible adventure when you guys got together. So that's what I'm getting to. Well, me and Christina met when we were kids, man. We were freaking just barely starting high school, and freaking thought I was going to be a DJ, right? We talked about that today. But there's so many poor women that are with their men, and then they get into drifting. It's like you're watching someone get into drugs.
Pretty much.
Right? And it's an addiction. It's terrible. They're spending so much money. They're losing their hair. They're losing their mind. It's an insanity. And you're just spending your money trying to just spin some wheels and burn some rubber. And these poor women got to put up with it, man. They're just watching us. But they love us. God bless them, right? God bless the women that can take care of us and put up with goddamn drifting. What's wrong with this? You got a good woman.
Amen.
Just tell her drifting's cheaper than divorce, and then you're good.
This is true. I got a simple one, thank God. There's only one person.
I don't think it'd be cheaper for her. Cheaper for him.
No, you got to keep her convinced of that, though. Somehow, you know.
I don't know if Andy knows how this works.
Shut up.
That's not how this works.
Shut up, Jeff.
All right. Tell us your guys' what do you got in store for us this year? Are you guys both doing Hot Pit the entire year? What else you guys got going on? What's the competitive strategy for HP Chasers coming in?
Well, I think getting this guy a license, I'm sure, I know everyone knows already the videos won't die, but, you know, this is the 360 king over here. And
that was an
billions
awesome
of views.
360.
So, you know, getting him licensed.
That was you, sir.
Yeah, that was Eric.
That was me.
Yeah.
That red car we have.
Yeah, that was impressive. That video got around more, I think, in 2022 than any other drift video, I want to say.
And it's still flowing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, more than any video in the history of. I think we've counted literally.
They reviewed it on Mr. Beast, right?
Yeah, Mr. Beast reshared it.
Mr. Beast and Verstappen, you know, did that little thing of it. So yeah, I mean, and I think that's what's amazing is just to see the growth that he's experienced because that video, but also in general, you know, just putting himself out there. And you know, I think I have. I've seen most FD teams have, you know, a lot of their team is comprised of drivers, but you know, to have someone like him who drove a Corvette chassis prior to obviously meeting me, and to be that talented of a driver. You know, really helped in improving me because he can look at the car and tell if something's wrong with the car or tell if something's wrong with me, right? And be able to have that conversation. But I think as a team, my biggest focus is, you know, getting him licensed this year. You know, for myself is winning a battle. We went into last year, we qualified every round, which everyone's like, hey, that's great. But, you know, that's not great. That's not how we wanted to do. And I'm sure we're not going to battle the car issues we had this year and, you know, win some battles and do well. And, you know, I think be a good representative of the sport. You know, I think that first year there's so many jitters and how things work. And I think for all of us, another big goal is to have a good time, right? To be present and enjoy the moment versus just being a ball of stress. Because you look back and you're like, man, that was so badass. We did FD, we did this. And it's like, okay, we need to actually enjoy it more in the moment. And look, of course we enjoyed it. It's amazing. But I think being more present in that moment and you know, really, you know, what we're a part of and what we're doing is special and magical. And, you know, I think that's going to lead to winning more battles too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a big thing. Like the first couple of years you come out and you're kind of, it's almost like overstimulating as far as the amount of things that have to get done and the amount of things that need to be paid attention to. And then all of a sudden you're in the car and you're on the track and you're like, oh yeah, we got to do this too. Mm-hmm. Like we got to drive the car on the track, you know? So yeah, it takes it takes a few years to make it feel like it's routine. And then it gets a lot easier, I'd say, once it feels like it's just the traveling circus that you're just following. And once you're a part of that and it feels like it's home, then it gets a lot easier.
Well, I'm curious. So you guys are both driving in a Hot Pit. How big is your team? How many of you guys do you have? Are you 2 cars in 1 trailer? What's the scenario?
Well, so actually, our other crew member this year is got his license also this year, and he's also competing in Hot Pit, DJ Stubstad. And then our spotter, DJ Mata, also has his license. I don't know if he's doing Hot Pit, but he's a good driver. So there's going to be 3 of us competing against each other, you know,
on the same team.
And working on each other's cars?
Y'all better hope you guys don't end up on the same side of the bracket.
Yeah.
It don't matter. Be easy battle.
Oh! Throw a 360 and send it.
Throw in the shade.
Well, we were I'm kind of joking, but kind of not, right? After that 360 video, like this is like one of those movies, right? We've all seen where you've got the race car driver and then he breaks his leg and the mechanic, you know, takes the car for a test run. Everyone's like, holy shit, that guy's even better of a driver. So I was like, we're kind of living in a movie a little bit, but that's not real life because I am going to smoke you.
Yeah, he's going to win a battle this year and prove us all wrong. Hopefully we'll have a car. Because my whole job is that if Rich is working on the car, something's messed up. That's my whole job is to make sure he's in the
trailer.
Make
sure the boss is either in the trailer or in the car.
Yeah. Make sure
me and Andy don't got it like that. Yeah. You'll find us dirty in the car.
Yeah.
My crew always tells me to stop working on the car, but you never know.
Same.
You never know.
So I got a question for you, Andy.
What's up?
Obviously, you're a seasoned vet at this point, and you've had a lot of success. Last year, Is there something that changed that you can put your hand on? Is it the combination of experience? Was it just everything clicking, or was there like a major change?
It's just the car.
He changed cars.
Yeah, it's just the E46 really that I could attribute it to. I mean, we've done a lot over the years. Our team has been running really, really well over the years. The fact that we did so well with the E30, even though it was doing so bad, I mean, there was rounds where we made top 8 with literally 0 practice laps. So that attests to, like I had a lot of driving ability, I know that, but we just needed a car that just worked 100%.
I feel like it was a little bit of me and Curtis, his crew chief, constantly bitching that the E30 needed to be changed out.
Yeah.
It was time, right?
Well,
I feel like all of his friends kept telling him.
The plan was like
new car,
4 years
new
before
car,
that to
new
switch
car,
it out.
new
It was
car.
just financially we couldn't.
You were in
do
that
it.
car
Yeah.
forever,
Yeah.
and just you'd have to see why. People don't understand when I say that car was overbuilt. It's overbuilt in the
Perfect. He's lying.
An FD car needs to be simple. It needs to not fail, but if it does fail, it needs to be repairable within 5 minutes, right? And then we constantly joke that when Andy's clutch went out, he literally called me over here to help him change it, and he's like, "We got to pull the rear end out."
Yeah.
I was like, "What?" To change the clutch. So that just lets you know the ridiculousness that was going on in this overbuilt thing when you had to spend a half an hour to change the spark plug.
He's making this seem like such a big deal.
It was a big deal. I mean, it's kind of a big deal. But all right, guys.
It was.
We got to move on.
Yeah, we got to move on.
We got more guests.
Jay
Thank you
Slides
very
coming
much.
in. Dude, yeah, you're awesome, dude. We'll see you
Yeah,
next year, both of you guys, and we're definitely going to cut that clip of the 360 on there somewhere because that was awesome.
Yeah.
All right, dudes. Yeah, you guys.
Well, thank you for putting this event on, man. Having something like this in our backyard is freaking amazing. So we're going to do everything we can to support. And I mean, everyone sees it, right? There's huge things coming for Hotpit. So thank you guys.
Yeah,
Thank you, bud. Later, dudes. All right, who is next?
Jake.
Jake.
Throw your camera on if you could, and turn your phone sideways. Oh, there he is. Hi. What's up, dude? Oh, I think you're still on mute.
You're muted, bro.
There he goes.
Still muted.
Still muted. Weird.
Oh, he left. He said bye.
Oh, yeah, probably.
So interview over.
He's probably using his AirPods and the mic isn't working. Sometimes the mic on other stuff just doesn't work. Yeah. Yeah. We'll give him a minute. Here he comes.
He's coming back.
He's coming.
He's back. His hair almost looks like the wig.
It's not muted.
Has he got the same wig? Do you think that's
it does look like the wig, doesn't it?
It's the same hair, bro.
Why can't we hear you?
Oh my God,
So
we can't hear you, bro.
No headphones on. Try disconnecting from the call and reconnect.
Yeah,
real
do you
quick.
got headphones in there?
Yeah.
You can hear us, but we can't hear.
Yeah.
Them. So while we're waiting,
yeah,
what?
he was trying his AirPods or whatever. I think the AirPods act funny with this.
Oh wait,
hello.
There it is.
Hey, there he is.
Yeah, sorry, the AirPods weren't working, and then my computer wasn't working.
AirPods.
Yeah, I think on Discord, if you use like a new device like that, you have to assign it. So you'd have to go into your settings and then assign Discord to your AirPods, essentially, or assign your audio. To
What does that
AirPods.
background look like to you? What
What
does that say to you?
It looks like some blueprints for something.
Blueprints for something?
Blueprints from my house. This is my great grandparents' house, and this is like the
see it
original
so
blueprint.
much better.
That's
than me.
awesome. What year?
60s, 50s.
Oh, okay. Cool.
All I saw was two big gold things, and I was thinking like, I don't know, like He-Man or something, some castle.
You're always
and there was
thinking
just,
of
like this
Marvel
weird, yeah, maybe.
Your brain is stuck in Marvel
Yeah,
land.
that's probably true.
Yeah.
I couldn't see the blueprints. At
So
all, though.
we are here with Jake Gonzalez, Mr. Jake Slides. He's my team member with therapshop.com and Rap Shop here in the Valley. They're awesome.
I'll be there tomorrow.
I think I'm heading there tomorrow too. What time?
I'm gonna go in the morning. They're wrapping my Z for Drift Week.
Okay, yeah, I'll be there in the afternoon, so I'll miss you.
Okay.
But yeah, dude, you are. Is he the youngest Hotpit driver?
How old are you?
I am 18.
18. God damn.
Yeah. So I believe he's the youngest one, right?
He may be.
Yeah. When did you get into drifting?
Well, it all generally started like when I was 14, just like watching YouTube and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then I first had the opportunity to like actually drive a car when I was like 16 at a Willow, just on balcony in a stocky 36.
Damn, that is some lucky stuff.
Right?
Yeah.
How did you first get into a car? What's the story with that one?
My first ever car was a salvage title 240 with a single cam in it. I got it for $3,500. My grandpa gave me a loan, and I paid him off with my lunch money. Actually,
You're just like paying him back.
So you were into drifting before you even got your license, then, yeah?
Yep, that was it. I mean, it's hard. Like, I would always watch Hoonigan and Formula Drift. Like, that's kind of how
modern day Pat Mordaunt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I kind of transitioned from playing those video games to actually doing it in real life, and that's, I think, what progressed so quickly, one could say. Although I have a long way to go, I feel like I made a lot of ground pretty quickly. So,
what games did you play?
a lot of Assetto Corsa right now.
Mhm.
I started on Forza, just with my little $300 Logitech wheel.
Nice.
That's how I started off. But yeah, I still use it, and it works because I started.
You're still on that thing? Oh my god.
Yeah, dude. I'd rather spend money on my real car, unfortunately. But
And how old were you when you got like the wheel set up and got kind of serious about simming?
okay, serious about simming, probably 17. But I started playing with the wheel when I was like 15, just on Forza.
Okay, so yeah, you got that
realistic.
you got that early start as far as getting the muscle memory going and all that stuff. Yeah, it's cool to see young people out here doing this, man. It's
Yeah,
impressive.
that's really young, and
Yeah.
he's got a really good looking car.
Yeah. The car is clean.
You don't look like you got a busted ass car. It's
No,
like
it's clean. It's presentable.
Testament to the rap guys.
Everything
making a
is.
car
Oh
look good.
yeah, they know their stuff. Like they do a really good job there.
What's the current car build like? What's in there?
Right now, it's just a 1JZ non-VVTi with a big old single turbo stock ECU and slapped in that 89 240SX coupe.
Stock ECU. So do you got like the don't they have a boost cut at like 14 pounds or something? 10 pounds?
I honestly don't know. All I know is that I'm
No.
pushing it to the floor, and if it stops doing something, there's something wrong. So.
Okay. Yeah, I remember back in the day the JZs that with the stock ECU. But you said yours is non-VVTi.
Yeah.
What year is your JZ ECU?
I have no clue, honestly. I've swapped it out
Napa?
once because the first one wasn't immobilized, or was immobilized.
Maybe the did you know, was your engine a twin turbo or was it a single turbo when you got it?
One came with the car, and then it blew up because the oil pump stopped working. Like, it wasn't tight, and I think it just like kind of fell off from the previous owner after like one event of driving the car. And so I just bought literally just bought an engine off Marketplace, checked it out, didn't even open it up, and threw it straight in the car. And that was like a week before Drift League in April.
Nice. See, I mean, that's just, testament to JZs, LSs, the bigger motors, man. Just makes life easier. I know there's a lot of guys that are all about the SRs, KAs, Corolla motors, but man, you're just asking those little things to do a lot. So what do you think you're putting down right now? Probably like 450, 400?
Yeah, probably right now somewhere between 400 and 430. I'm on pump, so if I went to E85 or 100, and with the size turbo I'm running, I was told I could make 500 to the wheel, but I gotta like change all the fuel lines and fuel pumps and injectors and stuff like that. And right now I'm just trying to figure out how to not make the car pull the steering rack out from the tie rod every lap. But hopefully that's all solved now. So we're just
Do
kind
you
of.
have your caster pulled really far forward, or what's going on with that?
No, I was just using offset rack spacers.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think I went through around 5 steering racks in a season.
Wow.
But we relocated the steering rack, cut the subframe and welded it with the Partshot Max kit. And so now hopefully I won't have that issue.
Yeah. So in my 14, for the longest time, I was just running Drift Knuckles and like driftknuckles.com, Brian Rogers.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mr. B-Ride.
for the longest time, I had my caster too far forward, and I do like having my caster at like 7, 8 degrees, as far forward as I can get it without hitting. But then, realizing that how much that's throwing off your rack spacing and everything, getting weird. So if you pull it back further, you don't get that over centering as much. So you don't actually have to run the rack spacers.
Yeah.
So that really helps out in that scenario.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of that we started before angle kits,
Yeah, so
like,
we knew the workaround.
Yeah, a lot of us was workarounds for that, and it was driving the car at less angle and wanting to perform how we want it to at less angle. And now that we're going like this huge angle lock to lock, it's kind of you're in a different spot in the suspension. It's doing different stuff, so you want different desired results essentially. Because you're skipping past all that middle ground that would mess with you essentially with the low caster.
And then what's the rest of your car? R154, and then The what's the rear end? 300.
I don't know.
What do you got going on?
I've got a 350Z differential I've got a 4.6 differential and 350Z axles. And Part Shop Max, all arms in the rear. The front's all GK Tech. It's just a pretty standard build, honestly. It's probably not a comp build, but I try to do my best with it and slowly upgrade it as I can. And that's
Why'd you go for the mix match?
Honestly, car came like that. I was with that E36 and I was getting on people's doors, even though I had a stock, 300,000 mile M50 in my little sedan. And I was just at the track and I was like, well, what do I need to go to the next level? And either more power or a better car. And so I looked for a better car and found this, kind of pieced together S13, and I picked it up and, from there made it focused on like safety aspects like fire suppression and cage and making it all legal. And then I just kind of used that to the best of my abilities and just use there, and I upgrade parts when I can and when they break mostly. So I just kind of
That's rad. I just realized I'm picking your brain, and then also remembered how old you are, and thinking to myself, I didn't know jack shit.
Yeah,
when I was 18 about cars.
I didn't realize
I didn't get
that
into cars
either.
until I was 19.
No,
and then it wasn't even drifting yet.
No, I didn't know shit when I was that old.
Yeah, I actually didn't get into drifting until
drifting.
Fuck,
I
must have been 19. When I got
19.
into cars,
Yeah, is
but
when I got into it. Yeah.
But I was just picking your brain because we know too much because we've been doing this for too damn long.
Yeah, but this dude
but
is
you're doing well for your age and what's going down.
For his
so
age, yeah.
actually, I do want to reach out to you personally in the future. I wanted to go to a couple local schools around Orange Show Speedway for Hotpit, and I wanted to promote Hotpit, but I wanted to bring in local drifters to it, and you were the youngest one that I could think of. And so it'd be really cool to take you to an actual high school and junior high and let you speak to, some people, because I can go talk to them, but they might think I'm an old fart already.
Yep.
Right? But they can
That's
speak
true.
to you and be like, oh, I can actually get into cars and pull some shit off too. Because when I was in high school, I didn't think anything about professional racing and drifting. We were still just drag racing on the street and dicking around.
Yeah,
so,
there are certain subjects that I would have paid more attention to if I knew that I needed to promote my career in the future like this. Because like there's certain things that just I wish I would have paid more attention.
Yep.
Economics, business, all that stuff, math.
So you down to go to some high schools and promote the sport of drifting?
Oh yeah, for sure. I just graduated high school, last June. So
what were your peers like at school?
I graduated high school 21 years ago.
I'm not going to talk about it. Yeah, same. What was it like talking with the rest of your dudes? I know I know the story of Ken Gucci. I know the story of like Pat Mordaunt, but drifting wasn't as big back then, and people didn't know what the hell was going on. People now know what's going on. So what was that like, being at school and telling people that you're a drifter?
Yeah, I think it was a cool experience. Although at the school I went to, I went to an out-of-district school where the families there are quite wealthy, and so they all found kind of more interest in like supercars and stuff like that. So I was almost like an odd one out, liking like tuner cars and doing the work myself. And I feel like I learned everything I had to learn by just having to fix it myself. Or
I'm just thinking about the scene in the Fast and the Furious when the dude has the tuner car and what's his name has the Viper or whatever.
Yeah. You're that guy.
You are him. Wow.
And how funny to think that like you're the one that's racing and like probably doing all this baller shit, but you just said everyone else was in the exotic cars, so you were kind of the low ball.
Well, they're probably baristas in college right now, so
more people to stab. Oh my god. So what's the plan for the year? What do you got in store for Hot Pit? You guys got a game plan? You coming in strong with the team? Any upgrades to the car?
Yeah, so right now my parents really stress on me school. I'm a freshman in college at. It's supposed to be 9:30. Oh, sorry.
No, you're
go ahead, keep going.
Go on.
Andy likes to interrupt people.
You're good. I'm a freshman at Cal State Northridge, and I'm spending my time. I got to spend a lot of time on school, but this is the kind of the first time where I'm really making sacrifices on school for drifting. So I'll be leaving for Drift Week next week, and I'll be there for 2 weeks from Arizona, through California up to Utah with my Z. And while I'm gone, getting my car prepped for Hot Pit, which is the day after Drift Week. I'm bombing home and then loading my car up and going straight to Irwindale, which is actually the first round's on my birthday, so I won't be 18 anymore. I'll be 19. So hopefully I'll have a good time there, and then through March and April, it's almost an event every single weekend. And just focusing on, keeping my grades up and keeping my drifting good at the same time, and kind of just making more publicity for myself, whether it be t-shirts or social media, and trying to enhance my drifting game, get better at it.
Yep. That's all the right words. So your birthday is March 5th, same day as Hot Pit Round 1?
Yep.
Is that what's going down?
Are we getting him a cake?
Somebody better get this kid a cake.
We're getting him a cake. We're going to smash your face
What's
with
your
the cake.
favorite cake?
Yeah.
Chocolate?
Yeah, what is
vanilla?
it?
What's your favorite flavor?
Honestly, anything. I'll take whatever. Chocolate, vanilla, whatever. I'm not a real...
He's like, as long as somebody brings me a cake, I don't give a damn.
Exactly, man.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
That would be a good show.
I don't know. I shoot more for chocolate, strawberries.
I like
and
carrot cake a lot, actually.
Carrot cake?
I love carrot cake.
You freaking.
I know.
I feel like that's not
you're a fruit, but you're a vegetable.
celebration.
No, it's not a birthday celebration cake, but yeah.
It's like a funeral, maybe. They got that on the side,
Moscow sheet cake. We're doing cake for Hot Pit.
Yeah. We're having.
I mean, it's also a Hot Pit's 1 year anniversary, maybe, kind of, not really, but we'll call it double birthday. Long as we're getting cake, I'm good with this.
Yeah, man. No one's
So
cake.
You can leave that up to me because I don't work for you guys.
So how
if I
big is
fail,
your
I don't care.
how big is your team when you come into Hot Pit? How many guys do you got? Is it just you? Are you chilling with your friends? What's up?
Yeah, so it's right now it's been me and my buddy Ben, who I worked at a go-kart place with, MB2. If that's probably not too far from you. And
yeah, it's up the street.
Somar?
Yep.
Oh wow! When did you work there?
I worked there for about 8 months. I think starting last September, maybe.
Dang, man, I must have missed you.
During Hot Pit,
Yeah.
I wasn't really I kind of have, I would say, come up with quotation marks pretty quickly in the sense that I've been meeting more people and stuff since then. But I was just kind of a normal dude who did just normal drifting at that point. So, but yeah, it was a fun experience, and he was the head mechanic there. So he's kind of been my head mechanic / I don't know. He used to help me transport the car around, and then now I've got a spotter who's another one of my sim racing buddies who's going to come out and make sure that telling me the stuff I already know, because I got way more to improve on than what my spotter's telling me. So
yeah, finding a good spotter is tough. You got to find someone who are really just, not hates you, but will talk that shit and not care about your feelings.
It's a balance. It's not the same for everyone. What type of spotter do you like? And the freaking fact that you're 18 competing in what's basically a semi-professional competition at this point, and you got a spotter. Only spotter I had was Christina, and she was just yelling at me if I looked at another chick. That's about all spotting I had going on.
Well, she's a great spotter.
Yeah, oh man, she'd spot some shit. Go ahead.
yeah, I mean, in a spotter, I just kind of, he was looking for an opportunity to do something to help out and just kind of get more involved in drifting. And, any help is good help. And I know that there's a lot I can do. I know in my own mind that there's stuff I need to do, and I don't really need someone to tell me that, but it also helps to get an outside view of the car. And, I'm really kind of critical on myself and self-deprecative or whatever, however you say it. And he kind of helps me, stay cheered up and stuff, and I don't know, empower me to do
I was thrown off. What's self-deprecated? Is that like self-medicated?
Self-deprecating is, I think, what he means. So it's you are down on yourself. Your mistakes, and you're like, no, I fucked up. I did this, I did that, blah, 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 blah. And his spotter kind of brings him back up to bring his confidence level up so that he can drive better, which is a good thing for a spotter to do if your headspace is there, If your headspace is down, it's the spotter's job to bring you back up, to build that confidence and say, hey, you got this, bud. I've seen you drive before. Just go do your thing, So that's a big part of it too, yeah. Westies just talks shit to me.
Yeah, spotters. You got to find a good spotter that works well with you. That is very important.
Yeah.
I found that with Hot Pit, I mostly just go to drive for fun and experience, and I don't go to show up necessarily to win. That's always the goal, but I am not going to be super hard on myself if I don't win. I'm there just to get better at the sport and learn more of the environment and make connections and, make friends and try to better myself the best I can.
How many rounds did you do?
You are too
last
fucking
year?
mature for your age,
Right?
damn it.
Fucking guy.
Right, seriously, though.
Happens a lot when you break your car.
How many rounds did you do last year of Hot Pit?
I did 2 last year. That's 2 and 3. The first one, my car was still down from Drift League.
Yeah, 2 and 3. Cool. And so how many laps did you get per event? Did you do both days, the practice day? It's a private practice day. It's not open to the public, but the guys get to all come out and have fun with it. It's a private day. How many laps did you get per event?
Well, the first one I probably did around 20, 25. I was in line the whole time, sun up to sundown or whenever we could. And the second one, my first lap out, I tore the tie rod out of the steering rack and had to find new offset rack spacers and stuff because I don't carry spares, saving some weight. But we were able to get it patched up, and so I think I did 5 laps total the last round.
Gotcha.
And I didn't do as well as I would have liked to in qualifying, but I think I definitely did better than I would have because I practiced a ton with my, not so good simulator setup. I probably did like 300 laps on Assetto Corsa, just trying to picture the course in my head so that I kind of knew what I was going to do when I came into the round.
And were you playing on the hot pit track that we had made?
I was. There was no course for round 3, so I just used the round 2 course and kind of I was like, it's probably here, probably here.
Yeah, I don't think we had that made. We don't get that much money.
Do you think that helped a lot? Just even if the physics aren't right, even if your wheels aren't right, just getting the visual sort of timing down and knowing where things are, do you think that helped a lot?
Oh, 1,000%. Yeah, I tried to pick a similar car to mine and make the gearing kind of similar to mine just so I know, where I'd have to entry and where it would put me up on the wall, which, could always be closer. And just basically just knowing where I need to have the wheel and when to transition and, when to back off and stuff like that.
And so you got 20 laps around 2.
That's impressive.
That's a freaking lot of laps. Well,
you guys got those high tread wear tires, dude. These guys don't have to change
tires. I'm just saying, even at that, at FD, you have to win in order to get about 20 laps, right? You literally, you get your 12.
Yeah.
You're allocated. What's the right word? You're not even allocated. The max you can do prior to qualifying is 12.
You're allowed 12, yeah. So then,
but on average, we're like 7 to 8.
Top 32, you're getting 2 runs. Top 16, you're getting 2 runs. Top 8, you're getting 2 runs. Top 4, you're getting 2 runs. And then for the final, you're getting 2 runs. So that's 10 on top of your 12. So that's 22 laps you'd get.
Yep. If you win.
Yeah.
And the craziest part about that was I got knocked out in, top 32, which isn't so great, but I was still able to do 20 laps, which I think kind of shows that the series is so great in helping people learn and kind of transition because you get all that practice time and time to figure stuff out. And, you get, especially with the lead and chase for each, practice lap that you get, it just gives you so much time to kind of feel out the car and feel out the track and learn your opponents.
So you like that method that we've been doing?
Yeah, what is this method? Explain
the
it
method
quick.
is, at FD, typically the way the tracks are, normally you roll up to the burnout box, you do your burnout, and then you're either in the lead or you're in the chase, and you do your run, and then you pull to the back of the line. With Hot Pit, what I wanted to try to do was to take away time from dudes warming their tires up every single time they go up. Because we don't have an official burnout box off the track, I wanted to get dudes on there, and then we did this for FD a couple years ago, but we haven't done it that much, where you pull up, you do your run with whoever you're lined up with, whether you're in the lead or the chase, you do your run, and then you pull back to the line, and you guys switch positions and do your run again. So basically, your practice was essentially just now a battle. And if people are watching, you typically just had a battle, and you could say who won or lost that battle.
Makes practice more enjoyable to watch, too.
Pretty much, I think
spectator.
so.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for round 1, it was amazing. We were watching dudes fly, and Keone was ripping. He kept driving with Forrest and Rome. And those guys were just I felt like they had some animosity or something. They were both battling for who was 808 in the car number.
Who was going to win the practice?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
So how you like that practice style, having the back-to-back with your opponent?
Yeah, I think so, for sure. Definitely, I like, you can even choose your, if you want to go lead first or chase first when you line up. So I think that just learning to drive with a bunch of different drivers and get to not only, like you said, not only just practice your lead or chase, but practice both is super advantageous and gives you way more of a feel for the track than if you only got to do half of those runs normally. I just think that it's, if everything could be perfect, the track would be easier for people to get off quicker and we could go through them faster. But obviously, you guys are doing it as fast as possible, and I think, you're doing a good job.
Yep, appreciate that. Yeah, there's a whole damn safety thing, I mean, we'd like to just send a car when another car's halfway through, but sometimes you get smoke, sometimes there's hits.
Just get him to sign a waiver, they just let him go wreck the stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what we were playing with the Irwindale course setup on how to get dudes fast through there. Me and Andy were actually on the sim last night. playing with that.
I really liked my track that I came up with.
Yeah, it was a good track. I don't know if we can use it, but I did like it.
It's just so much bigger in real life. It's hard to tell, you know?
Yeah, it will be.
Yeah.
So we got to get this guy on the sim with us.
Yeah, definitely, dude. Definitely. We need to get some Macedo time in. Go race some dinosaurs. We were tandeming dinosaurs last night.
Yeah, that was freaking wild. What servers do you normally go on? What Discord are you normally hanging out on?
You have my Discord now. This is my normal Discord. I have some with my friends who are mostly photographer buddies and stuff that do media for Hotpit. But I can definitely DM Andy or you, Jeff, and send you my information. I will say that I'm not the best sim drifter, but for using those low power cars, I will rub up and down on your door all day. So
nice.
What are you gonna rub up and down on again? What did you say? Sorry.
I think I said your door.
Oh boy! So you like the Gravy Garage cars and those like lower horsepower ones?
Exactly. Yeah, the Gravy Garage is probably my go-to.
That's because you got a Logitech wheel.
Yeah, it's true.
I haven't heard anyone with the badass new Logitech wheel yet. I'd like to see that one, but just not a fan of the 929 whatever or the G27s. But me and Andy normally get down to the VDC or like the fast cars.
And the VDC cars just aren't good on those wheels. They're just not fun.
Yeah, they're really bad on those wheels.
Yeah.
I just turned up the sensitivity. Do you do the VDC 3.0, those new ones, the comp car?
Yeah.
I've been tapping those a bunch, and those are a lot of fun too.
Because they did change the physics on the new ones. Are the new ones easier to run on your wheel than the old ones were?
Yeah, I think so. I always adjust the sensitivity of the wheel so make it like kind of firmer so it feels a little bit closer to the Gravy Garage cars, but it's always hectic throwing those things in. So
yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, DM us or however what servers you're on and let us know what Discords you're hanging out on.
What's your name on Aceto?
I think it's Jake Slides.
Slides? Okay. I'll find you.
That's very simple.
I'll find you. I'm going to come get that door.
I'd say mine, but I don't want people to find it.
Yeah, dude. Thank you, buddy. And come by the shop someday, man. You're too close to not to come say hi.
Yeah, I go to college like 10 minutes away, so just let me know.
Yeah, dude. Swing on by, boss.
Later.
All right, I'll catch you guys. Thank you.
All right, later. All right, we are bringing in Cody. How do I say his last name? Breitenstein? Is that how I say it? Cody, are you there, buddy?
Hello, Cody.
There you are. What's up, dude?
Oh, hey there.
What's up, dude?
What's
How are you
up,
guys
my
doing?
man?
Doing good.
Cody does funny videos.
I saw one
once a week.
I saw one.
They're great.
They're pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the new recent
that
one was really
funny
awesome.
So that one was really
introduce
awkward.
yourself. We'll get to the videos. Let's introduce yourself.
I gotta go pee real quick.
Andy's got to go pee.
Back. Yeah.
I'll maintain.
Maintain.
Tell us about yourself. How long you been drifting? About your whip, and then how you got into Hotpit.
So my name's Cody Breitenstein. My last name's pronounced like Bright, and then the letter N, and then Stein. I'm 29, unfortunately turning 30 this year.
Unfortunately.
I have a 92 Nissan 240SX. I have a LS in it. It's an LQ4, so it's the 6-liter iron block. I've been drifting for about 4 years now. And funny enough, I got into Hotpit because last year at Fuel Fest, I wasn't really driving in any events or anything, just fun Apple Valley stuff. And I hit you up, Jeff, and I was like, dude, I want to drive with the big dogs. Like, I want to drive in Fuel Fest. I want to drive in Hotpit. Like, how do I do that? And you were like, well, come out to Fuel Fest and we'll see if you suck or not. And then I came out and you were like, you're okay enough to drive. So that was how I made it into Hotpit, which was cool because I asked about round 1 and about round 2, and it was like, no, like we got to make sure we see you first. So came out and yes, I drove pretty good.
Yep. There is a an entry process. We have upset a few guys, but the goal of that was to make sure we had dudes that could turn good laps constantly. If you were listening in, Jake Slides was just saying how he got 20 laps at round 2. And if you got dudes that are going out there and they're hitting walls and wrecking and their cars aren't prepared and they're spinning out, you're not going to get that kind of drive time. And we wanted to make sure that everyone was getting some good drive time. So, yeah, sorry if you got turned down for the first few rounds, but usually what we do, and it's been contrary to belief, we don't care about your Instagram, right? It's cool if anybody has a higher Instagram.
I've heard some people say that.
Yeah, it's can you drive? The questions I normally ask are, have you competed before? What's your highest finishing place? You know, where were you at when you did it? What sanction body? And do you have any pro drivers or hot pit drivers that can vouch for you? And, you know, that's usually the thing. And because, you know, there's a lot of dudes that just get down, but they don't have any competitive experience. And so it's really hard to vouch for them. People will send us videos, and I'll watch them, and I have to assume that you sent me your very best lap you've ever sent or filmed.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, if this is your best lap, what do the rest of the laps look like? That's why I have to go off of competition.
You're so mean.
A little bit. And you know, people vouching. And then when everyone will say, oh, I drove with Rome, it's like, cool. Rome drives every freaking day, and he's probably driven with everyone, so that doesn't mean a lot. You know, Rome will just drive at Apple Valley and doesn't care who he's driving with. He'll just drive with everyone. That doesn't say that you can drive. So I usually say, okay, have that individual write me a letter on your behalf, because if they go that far, then they can really vouch for you, right?
Yeah, and I mean, Rome's like also the nicest dude. I can't imagine Rome saying a bad thing about anyone.
Or saying no, that he doesn't want to drive with someone.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
drives with everybody.
Yeah. What are we drinking right there?
Oh,
What's
he's
in the
got
cup?
a beer too. Perfect.
Yeah, when Andy said, I said, I gotta go get some beer then. Jeff's always talking about having the fancy beers. I was like, I guess I gotta go get some.
Yeah, digital cheers.
got,
Digital cheers.
Lagunitas.
Nice.
IPA. Yeah, that's one of my favorite IPAs actually.
Almost picked one of those up, but I switched it up for the Voodoo.
Voodoo? Is that one pretty bitter or no?
Yeah, it's a hazy though.
I like the bitterness level of Lagunitas. It's not like
this is a
terribly
hazy,
bitter.
so
Yeah, it's nice.
that's a 9.5%.
Yeah.
It's not too crafty to where afterwards, for like 10 minutes after you drink it, your mouth just feels weird.
So you're putting some extra effort into your social media, into making videos and all that stuff. And do you see like a lot of return on that? Is that something that you like to do, or is it just something you're doing just because you're drifting essentially?
It was definitely something like, you know, I always kind of wanted to do YouTube stuff and never really had anything to do for it. And then when I started drifting, I was like, yo, I want to do it. And then didn't really have like any ideas. And then the Instagram stuff started because I got a couple of sponsors that were like, hey, just, you know, film something with your car or something just to promote our products. And I was like, okay, well, I'm not like a serious person at all. Like, I don't take myself seriously, or I don't like, you know, I have never like tried to act cool or anything. And I was like, I'm just like a funny person, I guess. So the first video that I did was for Hotpit, where I had my girlfriend pretend to like be walking down the street, and I was just like attacking her, like, you need to come to Hotpit. Like, it's really important. Like,
yeah, it's so good.
All right. Like,
that was the
what
first
are you
one?
talking about?
Wow.
But it's helped a lot, really. Like a couple of, at the third round of Hotpit, which was the first one that I ever drove, a couple people came by and they were like, oh my God, like that was the funniest video. Like, that's why I'm here. Like, I only knew about it because I saw that. And I was like, all right, cool. Like,
makes it all worth it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You feel real dumb when you're making the videos though, right?
Dude, oh man, the one that I put out today, we live in like me and my girlfriend live in an apartment complex. So there's this really long hallway that everyone has to walk by. So I set all the rims up in the hallway, and I had like 4 lights shining in. So when I opened the door, it was really bright.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, please, none of my neighbors walk by right now as I'm like have my tripod set up outside, all like super weird.
This is great. Did you see the video?
I didn't see that one. No.
Oh, it's with the Circle of Drift guys.
Oh, okay. Oh, no, I did see that
That's
one.
that one, right?
Yes.
That's the same one?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
I saw
that one. So when I opened
yeah,
the
they're
door,
like talking shit about his
that was
wheels.
funny.
Oh!
That was funny.
I was freaking
and
dying.
just to be clear too, I sent them. I was like, "Hey, I cut your clips up to sound even like super mean. Is this okay?" And they were like, "This is the funniest thing. Like, please use it."
Yeah, it was
That's
good.
awesome.
They were super cool, and they were messaging me a bunch. I was like, "Hey, I have this idea. Like, is this cool?" And they were like, "Yeah." And I sent them like the pre-draft. Like, is this okay? I don't want to like be too mean. And they're like, "No, this is super funny."
They were mean to you first, you know. So it's got to be mutual, right?
Yeah. Talking smack about them black wheels.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
Then
I
they
got
came
mixed
after you
emotions
guys,
about those
calling you
guys
guys
afterwards,
boomers.
anyways.
About who?
The Circle of Drift boys.
Why? Because they're so young.
They had no idea who we were. No idea what the Maximum Driftcast was. It's mostly the slandering.
I feel like that's just an age thing.
That's an age thing.
That's just a
God
beat.
damn.
They just haven't been in drifting.
God damn,
We're fucking
youngins.
old, dude. We're fucking old.
Yeah,
It
I'm
happens.
sorry. No,
Look at this young man right here.
I feel like
Yeah,
I'm 13.
Been in the game for so long now.
you know, my body's been walking around. My age, my mind hasn't changed.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So next year, same car, same plan, same everything,
This
or what?
year.
This year, I should.
Yeah, we're
so this year, a couple of like new partners that are helping out. But for the most part, it'll be the same car. I've seen so many people like cars catch on fire. Like I didn't listen to Zandara's interview, but she had a car fire recently.
Oh, like 3 of them. She was saying.
A bunch of people have had car fire, so I bought a fire suppression system.
I still recommend keeping a 5-pound bottle with you in the car.
I do both. I
a
have
separate.
Both.
Yeah. I got one right between my legs for an emergency.
We're still talking
how many? Wait. How many pounds do you have between your legs?
Yes. We're still talking about the fires. Fire extinguisher, right?
Is it a 5-pound or a 10-pound you got there?
Just call me on a private chat later, Andy, and we'll talk about it.
Wow.
Well, if you're a 2.5 pound, I don't mess with that. So you know.
Those 2.5 pounds can't handle anything.
No.
They'll try to put in the work, but no one's satisfied at the end.
No.
Fire's still going on.
Mm-hmm.
But I've heard too, like guys will pull their are nervous to pull their fire suppression system because like that shit will eat away like everything. Like if it sprays like on you or it's like super bad, like guys want to clean it off the car immediately. So
it depends on what you're using. The aqueous film.
There's like 2 different types.
The
right?
AFF I think is the best. It's basically like soap and water essentially that ends up on everything. And then the Halon is really bad. That gets into wiring. That's the powder style. The AFF I think is the best as far as cleanup and not damaging electronic components and stuff like that. It's essentially just soapy water.
I refuse to take a look unless I'm on fire.
Yeah, same. Unless there's like a threat of the car burning to the ground, I'm not pulling it.
Not pulling it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we shouldn't say that on here since safety reasons. Since you run the event, let's just
this is why I've told everyone they must have a 5-pound bottle in their car.
Yeah.
And we actually require everyone to have, it should be written, a 10-pound bottle in their pit space.
In the pits, right?
Because
that's one thing that they don't do at FD that I'm really surprised about.
Well, at Long Beach they do, for sure, because the fire marshal walks around and asks you for them.
But everywhere else, I feel like you should have that in your pit spot.
You should. Probably a 20-pound bottle.
That's when you're refilling fuel.
The first person that's going to put out a fire is not the driver. It's usually going to be someone else who's next to a fire extinguisher who's going to run over and put your ass out.
Except if you're in West Virginia at Formula Drift in 2006 when my car caught on fire. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking around and no one's coming. The car's on fire. And all of a sudden, this dude that looked like he was like making moonshine in the woods. He had this long beard. This is West Virginia. He pops up and he's like, "You need this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I need that fucking thing." I ran over there, grab it, put it out, and that ended up on the intro for the Formula Drift show on. Was it on? I forget what it was on. It was on TV back in the day on G-Force, I think.
Yeah.
Because my parents would always call me and they'd be like, "Hey, I saw you on TV with your car on fire again." I'm like, "Great, wonderful. I'm glad that's what they put in there."
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'll have to take a look because I got like kind of what I think everyone uses, the Lifeline, 5-pound fire suppression system. So I'll have to see if it's the AFF or the other kind.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not too toxic. But yeah, everyone says like only pull that if it's like a dire situation, like you said, your car's ready to just burn to the ground. But in any other situation,
replacement bottle.
Yeah, my car's been on fire. Like the E30 was on fire, I think 2 or 3 times, and I never pulled it. I just dealt with it.
Yeah.
By hand.
Use a bottle of water and put it out. So what's how much money do you have in your car? How much money did you spend on the program? What do you intend to spend this year? Let's say you're talking to
cost breakdown. We haven't done that yet.
Yeah. What's your cost breakdown for Hotpit? You got 5 rounds this year. First round's March 5th. You got some new guys listening in, and maybe they want to do Hotpit next year. Maybe they're in another state, but they're listening in. What's your plan? What's your budgeting plan for this year?
So we actually did a breakdown last year because you've been helping us out a lot with like writing a deck and proposal to like send to companies. So I wanted to know like how much each event would actually cost me. And after, there's a lot of things too that like you don't think about, like filling up the gas for the truck to tow everything. It's like that's two full tanks of gas to like get there and then back. And then, tires, car eats gas. You got to pay for everyone that's helping you out.
Any consumable down to like the trailer tires, like you're
taking
away a percentage of that trailer tire every time.
Your friend taking off work to come help you, and you're not paying him, but he just didn't earn $200 or whatever he's earning that day, $300.
Yeah, exactly. So we figured, and we also like the math that we did, or like how we figured it out, was if we made it to the final round. So it was like, technically worst case scenario, but that would be best case scenario for the program.
Yep.
So like worst cost case scenario, and I think it was just over $2,000
per round,
which is something that I don't think people like kind of realize how much it actually is.
2,000 per round altogether.
Per round, yeah.
That's pretty good. Yeah,
So,
you got to assume there's a couple other consumables in there that aren't being added up. So say like 2,500 to 3 or somewhere.
And
around
that
Most
was
of the guys have
also,
told me that price, that's $3,000.
That's really good.
Yeah.
And where?
What helps with that is the 300 treadwear tire. Like, well, I ran federals last year, and I think I was able to get like at least 2 leads and 2 chases out of them. And then they had some life left on the end of them, but it wasn't enough to like run them in competition. So we saved them for like Apple Valley Fun Days, or at the end of the year we do like a sponsors and friends and family day. So we'll just take like all the tires that are like half used, and then just go let everyone have some fun. But we ended up just under $2,500, $2,000 for an event, which was pretty good. So I think the season ended up, for this year we said it was gonna be $10,000 for just Hotpit, and then we're doing LS Fest. Potentially going to Arizona for some stuff, and then like you guys do Fuel Fest and NIS Fest, and there's another one that the SoCal Z one, which was canceled, but that was another one.
And those are money makers, so those are usually, you profited on those, right? Did you do?
I have not profited on those yet.
No? Oh, burning up too much on the consumable side?
Yeah, because we could run, or I could run like a 300 treadwear tire and it would last longer, but people get like I don't remember who it was, but someone put it to me where like not a lot of people get to do ride-alongs. Like for us, it's just like, oh, whatever, it's just another day. But so I bring like the 200 treadwear, like the 100 treadwear, like the smoky tires.
Oh,
I
I'd bring some 500 treadwear if I was doing that, bro. Nah. I mean,
this will be showing up on forklift tires, those solid Johnnies.
Yeah.
No air, just solid rubber.
I try to make it like bring whatever tires make the most smoke. So like at the end, when you pull up all slow to Tim, who's bringing you in, like the car's just piled with smoke, and they're like, "Oh my god, this is the craziest thing ever."
He's a showman.
Smoke is like a big part of the show.
It does make it substantially more expensive.
It does.
How often are people engulfed in smoke like that? It's crazy.
Yeah. I like it when you can't tell if the car's on fire.
It's very normal for us.
Or if it's just
that is
smoke.
super fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have windows on your car, or do you have interior fans, or does it get smoky inside?
It gets smoky, and you just kind of do some of
Deal
this.
with it. Yeah.
Crack the door open and try to do like the getting the air out thing.
Dude, the roof vents actually really work well. I've been talking to people about those, like how Odie runs that roof vent, creates that negative pressure, and it just all the smoke doesn't come inside because there's constantly air flowing out the windows.
Pressure?
You're right, positive pressure. Yeah.
Positive.
Yeah, positive to push the smoke out of the car, essentially, because you always have air flowing through the vent and out those side windows, so the smoke can't come in if that's a constant flow.
Before we let you go, give us a quick rundown on the videos you plan to release this year, because they're hilarious. Is there a plan to like release one of these once a month? Or are they just sporadic and you just, who knows what you're doing?
It's kind of just sporadic. It depends on how busy we are too. Like right now, that one I really didn't have time to film because the car is like taken completely apart and we're rewrapping it and doing a whole bunch of things. But since that Circle of Drift podcast came out, I was like, I have to film something for this.
Oh yeah.
So usually they come out before an event to try to like get hype for the event, or to get hype for like us going to the event, or something like that. I have one that's planned for next week that should be pretty funny.
Nice.
But usually they'll come to help create hype for some type of event, help get eyes on the event and then on us too, which kind of helps everyone out.
Well, I was going to answer Jeff's question too. I'd say at least for my ideas like that, it's completely spontaneous. I'll get a random idea at like 11 o'clock at night, and I'm like, oh my God, I got to make a reel right now. And I'll run over my computer, knock out the reel, and then that's ready for next day. And all of a sudden, you see my engine, it turns into a washing machine that's shaking around.
That was so good. That was a really good video too. I really like that.
Dude, Andy's got some absolute bangers for reels too. The one where I think you get off track and somebody hit you, and then it cuts to the movie. It's like, I'm not gonna do what everyone thinks.
Yep.
I was like, oh my God, that's so.
We know Andy's got an attitude. We know Andy gets wild.
No, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about, man.
Red and everything right now.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I know what you're talking about. Wow.
That was so funny, dude.
Yeah. Because a bunch of FD drivers commented too, and they were like, "Yep, we know what you're talking about."
Yep. Like
this fool's getting wild.
Heat of the moment, you're just like you're so so opinionated in that heat of the moment conversation, and then you go back and you look at the footage, and you're like, I kind of fucked up there.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah. Well, I think we're pulling in Margaritas now.
Yep. All right. Thank you, buddy, for being a part of this.
Appreciate you.
Really happy to have
guys.
you at Hotpit. It's gonna be fun. Excited to see more of your videos. Oh, and real quick, last question. What do you do to convince your wife to be a part of these videos? Because God damn it, she's the other part of that. That's funny.
I usually well, for the most part, I'll text her just the most random ideas throughout the day. Like, hey, I have this idea, and she's like,
But you're making breakfast and doing the dishes for a week, right?
I'm like, like yesterday I came home and I was like, hey, I made dinner, I cleaned the living room, and she's fine, we can do it.
And that's kind of like her attitude in the video too.
Yeah.
Oh man, nah, she's awesome. She's a big part of your program.
Yeah.
That's really rad.
That's good.
She's super helpful for everything.
Big thank you to her as well.
Yep.
Very cool.
Behind every drifter is a good woman.
Yep.
Yes, that is very, very true.
Yeah.
All right, bud. Thank you.
All right.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you, buddy. Yeah.
Bye.
Okay, Mr. Margaritas, you can unmute yourself now and turn on your camera if you could.
Man, you got a lot of dudes on here.
Yeah,
we're banging through
dude,
these.
we are sticking to the schedule.
We're like every 15 minutes.
To the schedule. We're
they're
3
in,
minutes
and they're
behind.
out, and they're in, they're out. Here we go.
What's
Mr.
up, dude?
Margaritas.
Hello, guys.
Hey.
Damn.
How you doing?
We are jamming. Hey, buddy.
Here, I have my daughter today. She hit her arm, and we have to run a little bit. We was about to go to the hospital, but I think we're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
What happened?
Some of the kids on the school, pushed her or something like that, and she fall down with her hand, with her arm, and something happened over here. But I don't think it's crack or anything. Yes, I think she's okay.
Okay. Well, let us know. Let us know if you need to make a hospital run. You can hop out at any time.
Yes, she's here with me.
Yeah.
What's her name?
Her name is Angel.
Angel.
Hi, Angel.
You want to say hi?
Could we pull her in the camera real quick? She's a little bit out of it. Hello. I don't know.
How's
if
it
she
going?
can see us.
That's the hand. We are.
I hope your hand feels better.
Awesome.
Say thank you.
So Margaritas, you are one of the higher level hot pit drivers. What did you place last year?
This man's been killing it in Pro-Am for like a very long time. Like
I was gonna work into that.
I see this guy a lot. Yeah.
He was pissed that we didn't get to do round 4 because he could have, possibly been one to knock some dudes down. What were you last year?
I think I don't remember. It was 4 points. I was second for 4 points different with Rome.
Yep. So
and I have no podium.
Yeah, you're just consistently up top.
No podium, but you still did that well in the points, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
I have no podium in Hotpit.
Wow.
So what is the quick rundown of Margaritas, if we're saying that your name right? I'm sorry.
No, you said it right. Imagine like a cocktail margarita, but with this in the end.
All right.
Well, what is the extra this in the cocktail?
What is that?
What's the extra this that you're putting in the margarita? Splash of lime?
Special lime, special sauce. That's the extra shot.
Yeah.
So you...
a lot of sugar.
There you go.
You came... I remember seeing you, I think it was at Top Drift several years ago, or was it Drift League? Give us the quick rundown, man. Give us your drifting story.
Yeah, you came from Greece, right?
So I moved from Greece in 2015. I came here with my ex-wife. She was pregnant back then. And I put my old race car on a container and all our stuff. And I moved to US. I started from San Francisco. and I come from one weekend to Los Angeles, and after that we stay here.
Did you compete in Greece?
Yeah, so I'm champion in Greece. I have win 4 championships, and I have win also the King of Europe, and I have win 3 years the Greek North as well. So yeah, I was competing for a long time before I moved here. But my whole dream it was to go to FD.
And the car that you brought out was a pretty random car, that if I'm correct, right?
Yeah, it was the same year like your E30, like E30 and Alfa Romeo 75. It was, I think, the same generation, same
So
year.
was it Alfa Romeo 75 that you were driving originally?
Yes.
When it came out?
And what the hell was happening in that car? Because I remember it just being like,
You-
I feel like
you
it was
got- Car
super
was
turbo
sick.
laggy, maybe.
It was so
But it
sick
was like
looking,
once it hit turbo boost, it was blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys call it Alfa Romeo Milano here because only one of the editions come to US. Back in Europe, we have 1.6, 1.8, 1.8 turbo, 4 cylinders, V6. But I think here it's come only the V6.
Yeah, Alfa Romeo stateside is a very limited car company. Yeah.
Yeah, back then. Now they try to make new models, I think, but back then, yeah, it was very limited. So what you asked me, what engine I have in the car?
What was the engine package?
Yeah, what was the setup?
Yeah. So this car have the transmission and the clutch on the back. It's like a
transaxle.
Corvette.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they have great balance. It's 50-50 from the manufacturing. And when I moved here, the last engine, it was 3.2 V6 B-turbo nitro, the engine. It was with nitrous, but it was very small turbos, and have crazy spool. It was like normally aspirate engine, and he was going all the way up to 9,000 RPM. So it was great engine. The sound, it was amazing.
How big was that V6?
How what?
What displacement was that V6?
3.2 liters.
3.2
Okay.
up to 9,000 RPM.
Yeah, it was.
Damn.
I
thought that car was turbo laggy. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe it was just the crazy RPM. I remember when that car was just like screaming. I was like, "What the heck's going on there?"
I just loved how it looks. I love like all those random oddball European cars. That's just like it hits all that like WRC kind of nostalgia for me as far as, you know.
What year did you get into drifting? Did you say?
What year I start?
Yeah.
I started in 2007.
Okay.
Oh, old school. Yeah, you've been around for a minute.
So
you're just like us. Finally, someone familiar, right?
You've been doing it for a minute.
Yeah.
All these young kids on here. We had Jake on here. He's like, "Oh, I'm 18. You know,
Yeah,
like,
I got into it last year.
like, I have nothing to talk.
Even
to you about.
Richard, I mean, he's a little bit older, but
Right?
you know, he
Yeah.
got into it like 2 years ago or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Freaking guys.
Yeah.
So
when
you
I'm-
probably remember the guy from Red Bull Championship that came to Long Beach. He had some like crazy car as well. It was like a hatchback Vita bug or something. What was that thing?
I don't remember.
No?
I just remember the E30 guy that came.
We don't talk about Mike, right?
It wasn't Mad Mike. It was Red Bull Championship in Long Beach, right? Not the normal Long Beach, but the Red Bull Championship one. And I'm not really into European cars, so I have no idea what this was. It might have just been an E30, but I thought it was like a VW hatchback.
That he converted rear-wheel drive or something.
Maybe. Yeah. And I remember this thing sounded like it had an F1 engine. It was just freaking screaming.
I'd have to try and remember that one.
Yeah. And like, he wasn't the best driver.
Yeah.
He's probably like a middle of the pack driver, and he was doing great though. And the audience fell in love with this dude screaming, his motor package, everything. And Margaritas reminded me of that when he came to Top Drift, whatever it was, because you were just it just stood out, you know. And the RPM, I just remember like reflecting on that again. I was like, God damn, that is different. You know, we're always seeing, you know, I mean, Andy been around it for long enough, so we've seen the SR cars, we've seen all the, you know, LS stuff and all the 240s and all the things. We've seen
Vipers to whatever. We've seen a lot of cars slide around.
Yeah, Vipers are normal to us.
But seeing something weird and different, it doesn't matter how weird and different it is, as long as it's weird and different. It excites you again. makes you realize why you fell in love with drifting in the first place, because you're seeing it for the first time again.
He's from Greece. You're from Greece, you said?
Yeah, I'm from Greece.
That's all right. Cool.
So what was the scene like over there as far as driver skill and like event organization, all that stuff, and do you ever see yourself going back over there? Like, do you love the United States drifting scene now? Like, what is
all these things?
Yeah, what is the?
Did you get into it watching Japanese magazines and videos like the rest of us?
Yeah,
too many
it's true.
questions.
Yeah,
too
many questions.
Answer everything.
All of it.
Okay, yeah. Let's start from the beginning. So, Greek Championship, crazy competition. The guys over there, the level is super high, and we have very good drivers with different style of engines and different driving style, more for D1. So most of the people have turbo engines, and most of the people have small displacement engines, like 4 cylinders turbo, 6 cylinders turbo BMWs. And in some point, it was like a BMW competition, the drift over there. So everybody have E30s, E36, and E46 in the end. So I was the only one to have Alfa Romeo, and have only 1-2 other dudes that have Nissans. So everybody else have BMW, and most of the people 330, E30, sorry. So they have E30 in any combination of engine you can imagine. V12 biturbo, V12 normally aspirate, V8.
V12. No, I've said this before. I truly believe the E30 had more engine packages swapped into it than any other car on the planet. I got an argument with someone about this about S13s.
An E30?
E30. There's been electric ones. There's been V12, V10, V8, V6.
I have a race. I can send you the video. I start top 32. I have a V8 E30. Top 16. I have 4-cylinder turbo IS E30. Top 8. I have V12. Top 4. I have V8 M5 engine. and finals. I have M5 straight cylinder E30. All of them. So it was me and the E30.
He had the M5, like the E28 M5 engine?
Yes, the V8. No, the V10. Sorry, my bad.
Okay. Yeah. That's crazy. There's
so
much stuff.
They do everything, and
there's been rotary ones. Like, I mean, E30 has been. I mean, there's been SR E30s. There's been 2JZ E30s. I mean, I'm telling you. I don't think you can argue with the fact that car has been swapped with more motors than any other chassis on the planet.
Yes.
Somebody leave a comment below.
Yeah.
Somebody argue this man.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do the homework. But please, someone else.
And clip out right there. Perfect.
So most of the people, I mean, people to hate BMWs was my fans. So everybody was hating BMW. Like, I don't know what other brands. Peugeot. We have Peugeot, Renault, France brands. We don't even have here. Opel, Vauxhall. All that people, all of them, there was in my side because I drive something else except BMW. So you imagine I have to hold all that people and try for all of them with something don't have anything for my Alfa Romeo. Like, it was not exist steering upgrades. There was not exist suspension upgrades. They have nothing because nobody drifted with this car. It was like, why
it makes it a very difficult path. I felt that when I built the E30 too, because there was no dual caliper kit. There was nobody that made like really adjustable rear trailing. There's just a lot of shit that I had to literally engineer myself, or I wasn't gonna have it. You know.
Yeah, if you was do one quick travel back to Greece, you're gonna find everything. It was everything ready for your car. It's insane. They have big catalog with different things you can try. Of course, not in your level of car. You know, there was nobody tried to put such a big engine with so much power. Probably, basically, no, I'm lying. They have so much power engines that was compete, but not in your combination and the transmissions you have. Everybody was trying to make the stock transmissions work. So everybody put M3 5-speed for E36 286 horsepower, not the 321. So everybody was put this transmission because it was the most strongest back then. I'm not sure now if it's that the most strongest. I think the 6-speed E46 it's stronger. But I'm not sure anyway. So most of the people, the most common combination it was E30 with a straight M3 6-cylinder normally aspirate with BMW transmission and stock differentials and stuff.
So man, you got like a ton of story, and we're short on time here. We're definitely gonna have to bring you on again later.
Yeah,
because I mean,
we gotta do a whole episode with you.
You came here to the U.S. literally to do FD. That's freaking wild.
This guy he's followed his dreams, I think, more than any other person.
And you're doing Hot Pit this year and Pro Spec, which is pretty gnarly. There's a few guys doing that.
He's gonna do good too.
Yeah,
he's gonna do good in Pro Spec. I've watched him drive. His driving.
Yeah, finally, after 15 years, my dream come true. So I'm gonna go to FD.
Dude, you're ready though, man. The car's ready. I've seen you drive. You're on point. You're gonna do well next year.
I appreciate it. I need more practice, but I appreciate it. It's very important to hear that for you. And I never gonna forget Jeff Jones' words in Irwindale. You remember you was judging, and I was always, hunting you behind to ask you what I can improve, what I can do, and you was like, you remember what you tell me?
Not at all. No, I barely remember people's names.
You was like
so much shit going on.
You was like, can you please stop asking me what you need to improve and stop pushing so hard because you're gonna destroy your car?
Oh boy. Yeah,
I mean, he's got it, dude. Like,
you're good.
I mean, if you came and asked me the same thing, I'd be like, dude, just keep doing what you're doing. Just keep taking those little steps of improvement, drive, and keep improving. Like,
Thank you. It's important.
I think we'll have to have you on after you do your first Pro Spec round.
Yeah,
because then you'll have one Hot Pit round.
Yeah,
actually, you'll have 2 Hot Pit rounds and 1 Pro Spec round.
Atlanta.
We'll be able to
I
bug
can't
you.
wait. I don't believe
Yeah, me and you were gonna have to do round 2 of Hot Pit.
How are we gonna do?
Jump in the cars and then just drive across the country to compete in Atlanta.
Yeah, we need to do it very, very fast, right? Because I have practice on Wednesday, so Tuesday night I need to be there.
Yep. All right, buddy. We're gonna let you go.
Yep.
We'll have to wrap again. I'll see you
Good night,
soon.
guys. Thanks so much. Appreciate
Take it easy.
Man.
Thank you.
Awesome story.
Hope your daughter's hand feels better.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Alex, you can unmute yourself and turn your camera on, please. Look at this. Everybody's so on top of it.
They're on top of it.
Everybody's so on top of it. What's up, dude?
What's up, man? How are you?
I've lost count of guests that we've had on here.
I've been watching the whole thing. I've been sneaking
tonight.
up on you guys and watching it.
Nice.
It's been a good show so far. It's good to know everything about everyone else because I don't really get a chance to really talk to many people when I'm there.
Yeah,
Neither do I.
That's
really
very
cool.
true. Yeah, I think we're gonna get a lot of Hot Pit drivers just watching this episode. To
Yeah,
get to
it's
know
been
people.
pretty wild. Like, not to take up much of your time, but for myself, like getting to know the Pro Spec guys, and then now with Hot Pit, getting to know all the Hot Pit drivers. There's just so many more drivers you get to know in drifting, and every single one of them is freaking badass.
Yeah,
So-
and you don't really get a chance. There's so much going on at the events, and like I know we post what we post on social media, but like we don't have these like face-to-face conversations where you like find out really all. Like I knew Margaritas came from Greece, I knew all this stuff, like, but finding out every little detail,
very vague.
It's such a different experience.
So, Alex, tell us about yourself. You got a shop. You drive a Mustang.
He's got the best color Mustang in the world.
Tell us all the things. Orange Brothers right here.
Orange Mustang.
Tell us all the things about you. How old are you? When did you get into drifting? Why did you get into drifting? Go ahead. Give us the spiel, buddy.
So basically, I'm an old guy. I was born here, so I'll get that out of the way. And then I moved over to New Zealand in 1998. So I've been in New Zealand up until 2009. So I learned how to drift in 2005. And never really competed. I just constantly did drifting. And then I couldn't afford to keep doing it. So I stopped and I just completely disappeared out of the scene. And Jeff, we've actually met before, but you probably don't remember. But it was
terrible.
back in 20 and I think it was 2012. I think I showed up with a white 240 to Top Drift, and it was right when Matt Kaufman was getting his license. And
right.
I had to go, and I've had nothing but mechanical issues. And unfortunately, I think mechanical issues keep on following me because every competition I do, I always have some mechanical issue. But
it's hard to break that curse.
That's a normal thing.
But I mean, the whole Mustang thing. This may shock you. I'm actually on your side, Jeff. When it comes to Nissan, I've actually been a Nissan guy my whole entire life. I've had like 4 240SXs. I've had a Z, and the whole reason I'm in a Mustang is actually because of JTP. So I was buying a part for my daily driving Mustang, and he basically told me, okay, if you compete in a 240, you know, you're just like everyone else. At least get a car that people are going to talk about. So I went out and bought a Mustang, and I basically found a good deal on a 2020 Mustang, and I hacked that up, and that's what you guys see at Hotpit. And
Not bad advice. Not bad advice.
I mean, I haven't actually tried to get any sponsors, so that hasn't really helped me. So I've just been too busy. And but you know, honestly, I have to actually thank you, Jeff, because I think it's you and Rob and RJ have really helped me out because obviously, you know, Margaritas works for me now, and you know, I've met a lot of really good people in this whole thing, so it's been really good. But
did that come from the Discord thing that we asked if anyone had any jobs or trade or parts for sale?
No, it didn't come directly. I've actually been harassing Margaritas for about a year now, and I don't think he took me seriously. And then he started seeing, you know, we talked more and more through the Discord and stuff like that, and he realized I wasn't lying. So.
Gotcha. I remember you put up that post that you were looking for a mechanic. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So you have your own shop?
Yeah, I do. I used to do race cars, so I actually was really well known for Supras. I used to do a bunch of Supras. I used to do engine swaps, and I always lost anywhere between $1,000 to $2,000 every job. And I always made money on repair. So now I just do auto repair for the most part. And if I am doing like race stuff, it's just for friends.
Quick shot plug. Where is it at? What's it called?
It is L-Spec in Torrance, California. And Jeff knows well because I'm helping him out, and I can help you out too, Andy. And I'm able to help anyone out.
And then, so why L-Spec? What's the L for?
Funny story. I was working for Lexus at the time. I was a service manager, and I wanted to open a shop for like Mercedes and, you know, Lexus sort of customers. So the original idea was luxury specification. And then about a month into it, I realized that made no sense. So in my head now it's last specification because it's the last tune you'll ever need. Still sounds corny, but you know, it's a thing.
I was thinking it was like LS spec or something at first. I think every time I go to look you up, I think I put in LS spec. It's okay. Yeah.
It's even worse telling people over the phone because then some people think it's like L spec, and I don't know why anyone would call themselves EL, like the spec. But anyways.
Oh, like the French thing, El spec.
Yeah, a lot of people think that's what it is. Like L spec, EL, what?
No.
But yeah,
deal, good deal.
But I'm gonna make a lot of changes this year, so you know, I've got an actual team now, and I'm gonna be helping. Actually, there's gonna be a Mustang and Prospect this year. I'm gonna be his crew chief. That's Chris Leonard.
Okay,
and
awesome.
That's my end goal. Actually, I've always wanted to do Pro 1. I just never had the money, and I feel like now I have money to do it. So I'm trying, and now I realize I kind of didn't work on my skills as good as I wanted to. But now I'm just trying to keep up with you guys.
Yep. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of investment, man. It's an insane amount of investment. Owning your own shop and being able to pull it all off on the own is.
Well, people always ask about the money and they never ask about the time.
Yeah, it's a lot of time.
It's a lot of time, like a whole lot of time. Yeah.
Just so you know, every hot pit round I've done with you, the car was finished 4 hours before I was there on Friday.
That's normal. That's drifting.
Yep. That's average.
There's a meme and it just shows like this car that's just like completely apart, right? It's just like a shell and stuff. You've seen this, right? And then it says like, you know, hey, race is tomorrow, and the dude's sitting there like trying to put like all the parts on, coil overs the motor in. He's like, don't worry, I'll be ready.
Yeah, we'll
it's
make
like
it.
drifters.
We'll make it.
Yeah. I don't know why. Drifter's like, oh yeah, I'll be good. I'll put all this together tomorrow.
Somehow, some way we make it.
That was my build last year, and Andy coming over and helping me, all flying my friends out from Florida and freaking everywhere across the country.
Yeah.
So what is game plan for you owning this Mustang? Give us a little bit more background, or like what's the car build, and then what's the game plan for kicking ass this year in the Mustang?
Well, I think I've always talked to a lot of people about this. Sam, Margaritas, tons of people. You know, it's my biggest frustration is I can pull out an amazing run that is probably one of the best runs of the day, and then my next run I'm all over the place. So it's frustrating, especially for other people who are battling me, because then they look at me and says, "Oh, he's going to be a competition," and then the next battle he's like, "No, he's not." So it's for me. I think it's just working on me and my attitude, like because I think my car is good. I'm basically, for the most part, it's a carbon copy of Justin Pollock's car. So I have everything from him now, literally almost everything. The only thing now I don't have is a blower. So it's his full suspension. I have his coilovers, his rear grip kit, and I also now have his rear end winters. I have his Andrews gearbox, clutch setup, his body kit, and now, I hope it's not a bad luck, but I have his carbon hood from Irwindale. So hopefully that's not bad luck, because that's the one that went into the wall. So knock on wood.
And you have a nitrous though now as well, right? You had that last year. You put it on there
for round 3, round 2. So the car makes 500, and like Elliot was talking earlier, like I really think once people realize it, I think the S550 Mustang is going to end up being the 240SX, because obviously 240SXs are becoming impossible to find nowadays, not destroyed. But I mean, if you want to. 500 horsepower is full bolt-on, so you just headers, E85, and a tune, and you're making about 500 to the wheels. And just like with Elliot, I mean, and to want to so even crazy, the car. Hopefully, I want to go to Pro 1, not Pro Spec. So I want to get through Pro Spec and get the Pro 1. And I know that that's a big save, but that's my goal. The Coyote can make easily over 1,000. My black one makes 1,300 horsepower to the wheels, and I daily it. And it's just twin turbos. It's just forged internals. There's no sleeves, no nothing. So, I mean, the Coyote, my whole idea behind buying the Mustang was having a car that I could just, I don't have to change the engine. I don't have to swap the car, because, Denofa does really well. Von Gittin does well. JTB does well. So it's not the car that's really going to hold me back. It's just going to be me. But, yeah, all I have to do really right now is I have a 100 shot of nitrous. And then, we're debating whether if I do get a Pro Spec license, whether or not I'm going to keep that. But I really like turbos. So,
how is your nitrous set up?
I have, Nitrous Express, is this Nitrous? Yeah, Nitrous Express told me to go the throttle, what is it called? The throttle body way. Because originally I was going to do the direct spray, but they said it's safer to actually do it through the throttle. And I have their
I blew up my intake manifold with the direct spray.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's what they said. That's what they said.
The switch that arms the nitrous, or one of the switches, I believe there's an arm switch and there's another one, and it was on my center console, and I believe it grounded on the chassis as I came off the bank at Orlando, and just blew up the whole intake manifold.
Awesome. Because it oversprayed or backfired?
Backfired.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nitrous makes me nervous, because I'm actually been a turbo guy my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, we'll see. I mean, I might,
as long as all the parameters are there and everything's in place, you're fine. As long as you have, I believe it's like the air fuel ratio, like cutoff thing, and all that other stuff. As long as that stuff works properly, you're good. What I had was like a direct wiring issue, where the wire was just too close to the chassis and it grounded itself out because it was on the center console and just getting kind of beat up. So just make sure your wiring is good. Make sure everything on the nitrous system just has to be treated like it's an aircraft or something like that.
Yeah.
Double check everything and make sure it's all good every
nitrous
time.
Is a lot of work.
Yeah,
that's a commitment.
mean, just buying it is what I got over. Having to buy it every round.
Yeah,
I was like, I get a supercharger and not have to buy this bottle and swap bottles out every 3 runs.
Everything.
So my reasoning behind the whole nitrous was the whole weight thing, because I did a Whipple for a customer, and it weighed like I think like 100 pounds, like 100, 120 pounds. And like Elliot said before, these things are freaking tanks. Like Jeff, your car is 3,100 factory, while mine is nearly 4,000 factory. So I'm down, as much as mine's gutted out, I'm only down to 34. So, and I think Elliot's still running. It should show you how good Elliot is he's, I think he's at like 38. And,
So
you know,
serious?
he's still able to, he's still able to.
He said it was heavy.
That's a tank.
That's heavy.
Yeah.
Freaking
No, and then
Mustang.
where me and Chris Leonard and the rest of them, even Vaughn, I've talked to Vaughn about it. Like it takes a lot of work to hit that 31 that Vaughn is stuck at. So the RTR team, like even they struggle to get to 31. So it's and JTP's overweight. He's not at the weight that he should be. It's just it's insane. But I mean, it's still a good car. I like it. I mean, I don't actually know how I got in Hotpit. That's the other question is I just begged you guys at Fuel Fest, and I don't necessarily know if I was a good enough driver. I just kept on harassing all you guys, like, hey, can I get in? Can I get in?
Sometimes that works.
Yeah. No, that was probably a Rob thing. You know, we were scouting that day. You know, we were definitely looking because we definitely used NISFest and Fuel Fest as the funnel to bring in other drivers and then just see, you know, how other drivers are doing. And man, actually for Hotpit, we're actually I think almost sold out. And Alex, you were like I think you were the first guy to buy your season pass. So yeah. And I think I forget who was second. I know Schaefer filled out the paperwork really fast, but he didn't pay that fast. But I think there's like maybe 5 spots or 3 spots right now for passes, and it's all like season passes. Most of the dudes bought a whole season pass, so there's gonna be a lot of broken hearts probably by the time this episode comes out. By the time this episode actually hits YouTube, which will be a week.
I had to tell a couple people to get on top of it.
Yeah, I think it'll Hotpit will be actually sold out for the entire year. We will have a few guest appearances, but that will be you know, pro style drivers or big influencers, and they're only allowed to come in like once. So
no, it's great. I have a lot of hope for this series, man. I think it's going to be good. I think that's why I bought in right away, because I was like, I don't want to give you guys an excuse to say, we don't want Alex to show up.
Nah, you're a good man, and you are showing up
consistently
next weekend. Well, no, next weekend he's going to help us out.
Oh,
no. Unfortunately, funny story. That is my girlfriend's birthday party.
Oh, well, you should have. I'm glad you remembered that. All right, never mind.
Yeah.
No, well, I
right,
told her, it's like, hey,
slot.
by the way, we're gonna go to to do this little drift demo, and she goes, oh, that's fine, you can go. It's fine, you go. No, it's fine.
Well, this should drop Monday. Should we leave that slot open if any other Hotpit drivers want to hit you up?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, no, I'll message her probably. We'll be good. But yeah, you almost got yourself in some trouble, boy.
Oh, I did. Trust me.
Oh, you're already in trouble. Already
right?
dealt with it. That's so funny.
Jesus.
Yeah. So that's super rad. I mean, yeah, man. Be one of only 2 Mustangs in Hotpit, and there's definitely a few more in FD.
And they're doing good. Like there's only 2 of them, and both of them are doing pretty darn good.
But there's more Corvettes than there are Mustangs now.
In Hotpit?
Everywhere. Yeah, in Hotpit, I think there's like 4.
I thought Gross only brought the one. Oh, Advani, Gross.
No, there's like 4 in
Did
Hotpit.
either of you go to the Winter Jam? Did either of you go to Winter Jam?
Oh, I was there, yeah.
Yes, I mean, you saw at Winter Jam, there was like, I think there must have been
Corvettes.
No, more than that. I think 60% of the cars on the track were Corvettes.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
That Corvette is
C5,
the new...
C6,
Our flyer is the 2 Corvettes right there. Bam.
Oh, it is, huh? The 2 green Corvettes.
Yep,
Gross had one of them. Who's the other green Corvette?
Right when you said it, I didn't know. I can't think of his name.
He was at Winter Jam. I always forget his name.
I know his name. I'm sorry, bud.
Mr. Green Corvette guy. I'll tag him right there in the bottom. His IG.
He works out and he's got a lot of tattoos.
Right here.
You know,
right here.
We had this discussion.
Dustin Farrell?
This is
Oh, you don't know?
You're just making up names?
This is the other thing that you guys should have an episode on about, like, which is the most competitive car. Because we've had this huge discussion at my shop, because all of us are drifters. And, you know, my mentality of it, having driven a Z, not competitively, but, you know, driven it and actually drifted. I've drifted Zs, 240 SXs, a few BMWs, the Corvettes, even a Skyline. And this is what I come up with. I think the Corvette bang for buck for an actual fast car that you're going to be able to door pretty much everyone every single time, I think it wins, and I think that's what everyone's starting to realize, and that's why their prices have gone so high. The BMW, though, in my opinion, and I mean, Andy, you already know, it's the E46. I feel like the E46 is the most neutral car. I don't think it's like the best car and all. My opinion is it's the most neutral car. It's the most car that you don't have to go absolutely insane to be competitive at pro level. And
it never ends up being extremely flashy too. Even when like you try and put like a little extra into it, it just doesn't look as exciting as like.
You have one of the lowest E46s in the series, though.
As far as ride height?
Yeah.
No, that's just the bumpers.
Yeah?
My shit's high, dude.
Your whole car
look
seems
at
like
it.
it's slammed.
This 2F, dude. 2F Performance ducks their kit
compared to
way
Reader's,
down.
Reader's like a spaceship.
Yeah, but he's not running 2F. He's running a stock front bumper and stock side skirts.
Got it.
And yeah.
So, Alex, what's your parameters for saying what's the best car? Are you looking at cost? Are you looking at
I'm gonna chat with a bunch of professional drivers. So in my opinion, it's the most professionally competitive car. So, you know, if we're talking about all around just a car that you can actually do pretty much anything, that's a different car. You can't put those in the same boat, because, you know, almost every conversation you have about like what's a good drift car, at the end you're always thinking about, oh, what's the all-rounder car? And that's obviously it's just you can't put it in the same. I mean, you can't tell me.
That's
you
why
can
I know it's like
compete.
I would think, you know, you got to base it off of suspension and wheelbase, because everything else you can almost work around, right? Forget sponsors, forget cost. You're gonna have what's the wheelbase, because you cannot modify that too much, and then you got what is the suspension geometry.
But could you really though? Like if you actually like cut an inch out of like your 350Z and shorten the wheelbase by an inch, you think you'd actually notice?
Do you think Kevin Wells would actually
If
notice?
you did it really, really good.
I don't know. Have to ask Kevin.
I don't know if he noticed.
We'll get Kevin on here, and then we're gonna have those stupid NASCAR things where they bring out the frame tester. It goes over top of your car.
Shape of the car. Yep.
You're an inch short, buddy.
Yep.
I don't know.
DQ cars because of that.
From some of the stuff I've seen from RTR, man, I think Kevin's gonna have his fucking field with RTR cars.
Yeah,
But,
he's got his homework to do in pro more than in pro spec. That's for sure.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's what I'm basically saying. So, I mean, of all the field, I mean, the car that obviously you need to be a good driver, but you've seen it, and all of you guys know there's plenty of good drivers that are just the bottom of the barrel because they've chosen a car that, I mean, perfect. You know, I hate to say it if he says it, Federico. I think he's a perfect example of someone that is being held back by his car.
I mean, I was that example for 7 years, you know.
Yeah,
with the E30, you know.
I mean, seeing some of your runs through Pro Spec, I've seen some of your runs with that E30, and it was insane. And then, yeah, it's obvious that it sucks that it took so long for you to get in the E46. But I mean, I wasn't surprised.
His E30 wasn't that bad. It was a mechanical failure that always ruined him.
It was also not the best. I mean, the E46 is
you were able to put some laps down in that car.
Oh yeah,
it was constant mechanical failure because I know. I mean, you were running to my pit, needing a part.
Yeah,
I was walking over to your pit, drinking a beer, going, "Oh frick, what are we doing now? All right, how am I helping? What are we doing?" You know, this is every single time. I would say, mechanical failure, and then Federico's Ferrari. That thing is cool, but it seems.
Who else has been held back? Kyle Mohan. You know.
Yeah, but that's engine package though. I mean, the same thing.
Yeah, I think that's engine package too. You're right.
A lot of people don't understand, like you guys both understand it religiously, right? But there's a lot of professional drifters that want to stand by, you know, their engine packages. But the reality of it is, you ask any of the Japanese guys or the old guys, you know, the really old guys, they'll all tell you torque. They don't care about horsepower. They don't ask you how much horsepower your car makes. They ask you how much torque and when does it happen.
Oh, so another good example, Taka Ono, Corolla.
I see that guy. I pay that guy religiously. He's like my fucking
driver.
He's my sensei, man.
I wish he would have gotten into the FRS or something.
Supra. He would have been
like. I mean, you know, I talked to him
but
still.
Hey, but think about it. Watching Taka drive a Supra would have just been sacrilegious. You know, it's like. It's just he's a Corolla driver.
I mean, I guess you were a Corolla driver.
Would you have driven a car?
I mean, I was an E30 driver.
Gucci was a Corolla driver.
Yeah.
A lot of people started in a Corolla.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I mean, but that's like, I don't know. With Taka, I see that as being part of him. You know, like when I see Taka, I see like the silhouette of a Corolla just sitting behind him at all times.
Okay.
You know, like it's just part of his personality.
And that's another thing I've noticed about professional drifting, right? Like, so you can see the difference between different sort of drivers and what their mentality is when competing. And one thing I've learned from Taka Ono is a lot of it is, if like, you know, if you were to verse him, like him, it's all about like mastering tricks that not others will do. And then some people will brute force it, and some people will just analyze the shit out of everything. And then other people will just be like suspension freaks who just absolutely every lap they're changing their setup every single time. And everyone has a different, like, you forget about driving style. Everyone has a different mentality on how they're going to approach this battle. And it's just, that's what I think is drifting awesome. The drifting is so freaking awesome because you can have this huge mix of all these different simulations where basically you have, you know, the cars, different attitudes, different everything. But it's just awesome.
Yeah, it's very cool to see the variety of people that come out, because like there's these dudes that are just hardcore JDM. That's all they want to see is an S13 going sideways at Mihan, you know. And then there's people out there that are all about, you know, just for me personally, it's all about like the mechanical progression of it, seeing how far we can take it with like the 2-frame front ends and the engine swaps and all that stuff. Like, I find that interesting, like just seeing how far we can stretch the rule book and what we can do to make the cars perform better, be easier to work on, all that stuff. And like that excites me more than sticking to some like regimen, like, oh, this is how it should be type thing, you know?
But the other thing too is you gotta, like, because we're in America, that's the other thing too, like having grown up in New Zealand and coming over to America, like that's the biggest scary thing, like what you're saying, trying to invent new ways like tube chassis, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where do you draw the line, right? When does it turn into a you know, into you know, us driving that? Why do you think F1 had to ban rules? Like, I'm worried because right now we're, you know, if FD gets really big, you know, what if one day we are essentially like F1 and we have to drop out because we're not billionaires? And that's what I've loved about drifting is like no one in this chat right now is a billionaire.
Yeah, I think FD's doing a good job of that over the years, as far as like the tire to weight rule.
It's a good argument on both sides. I would like to interject with, was it Joe Rogan talking about baseball players and wrestlers and people on steroids? Like, you want to see the top at the top of their game. Like,
absolutely.
So I would not hold back drifting if I couldn't afford it. Like, if Vaughn, you know, essentially Vaughn is like the top of the food chain when it comes to what they can afford. Then you got Osbo, more Papadakis.
Yep. Toyota Racing, yeah.
Imagine you had a field of all teams of that caliber. Imagine Vaughn was the smallest team in Formula D and what that would look like. But that would just open the doors for Hotpit to be as big as Formula D, and then Drift League and Top Drift and U.S. Drift Circuit, you know, Lone Star Drift, for all of those guys just to be a bigger entity. The bigger it gets at the bottom, the bigger the top gets. The bigger it gets at the top, the bigger the bottom's going to get. You know, it's all well-rounded.
Well, if you look at like Formula 1 versus like Formula 2, like have you ever watched a Formula 2 race?
No.
Their Formula 1 car is essentially with like 300 less horsepower.
All right.
And they're spending just about the same money every year.
Yeah.
And like it's just as insane racing. It's actually more insane because the drivers have less skill.
Yep.
You know, and it brought up the whole lower level, whereas like the feeder used to be like, for them, it'd be like Formula Ford or Formula Mazda or something like that, where you're, you know, racing some open wheel car that doesn't have a whole lot of power. And then all of a sudden you're stepping up into this monster. Whereas like now all of a sudden you have this step in between that is also a monster, you know, like this is also a huge, huge milestone in your career as far as doing well and performing well. And then you have something to go to on top of that. Like I said, I was saying earlier, like with, I forget who it was, but like once you reach your goal, you got to set another one.
Yeah.
You know? So like where does like, so speaking of that, like a person like James Dean or like Daigo or Vaughn or someone who's like gotten to the top of the top, like what's their next goal?
They go off-roading.
Yeah, I guess.
King of the Hammers.
Yeah. Or if you're Daigo, you build your own drift compound and, you know.
Yeah.
No, I mean, but this is the other thing too. I'm kind of cynical when it comes to that, even though I'm so obsessed with it. I don't think, you know, Formula D and drifting in general has grown exponentially faster than any other motorsports. However, I feel like just having interacted with a lot of people that are coming up, I mean, I watched the interview with Jake, and perfect example. If we were in high school and one of our classmates was like 16 and drifting, he would be our gods. And the fact that he even admitted himself, he's just like, no one cared. You know,
that's insane.
Yeah, that's crazy to me.
I think the sad part is this the reality of I actually agree with you, but what I'm sort of coming at is I don't think we're going to be growing that much anymore. I think automotive sports in general, not just drifting, I mean like everything is going to just drop off, and we're going to be looked upon like the bad guys. So we're already bad guys in California.
Yeah, as far you're talking about like environmental sort of standpoint
Everything.
and stuff
Just,
like
we're going to be the scapegoat, because the thing is we're the you know, it's always like I always tell people, you know, the loud minority. So even though we're so little, like like people who actually modify cars crazily, how many people in California do that? It's probably like a couple thousand, maybe 10,000 people. Out of
the
what,
MTA buses going around LA probably emit more emissions.
Well, you have a good argument, but I would argue that racing became racing out of prohibition. And I dare you to ban racing, because you will have your own prohibition
we'll keep
via
doing
racing.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree.
And
all of a sudden, Hotpit will be a private competition in the canyons.
Yeah. I mean, it's already happening. Dudes are taking to the street and doing dumb shit all day long because there's not enough racetracks in the cities. There's not enough drag racing. All that stuff.
I got a question. No, I got a real question. What is the answer? Because what is the real answer for takeovers? What?
I think every city needs its own drag strip and its own skid pad.
Yeah,
I mean,
but no.
that right down the street from my shop is technically Canoga Speedway, where they used to do all the drag racing in the valley. And when I leave my shop at night, I would drive by them. When I'd have my bay door open, I would hear them in the middle of the night. You know, I hear a Honda do a crazy burnout, and then I hear some V8 do a burnout, and then I'd hear them do their pass. And I kept thinking, like, if they just line that street with barriers and like shut it down at night and just let them do what they did.
You need an outlet. People need an outlet for all the stupid things that we do.
I mean,
and if you don't have an outlet, they will take to the streets and they'll do it in the streets.
Best comparison I have is skateboarding when I was a kid in the 90s. In Southern California, we had no skate parks. We had one up in Ventura, and then after a couple years, Van skate parks started opening their skate parks in Ontario and Orange County. So we had to drive from San Fernando Valley. It was an hour to get to any sort of spot where I could skate legally.
Yeah.
And not only that, I was 13, so I had to get a ride from someone's parents. They had to pay $20 or $30 to get me in. It was this whole thing. So like we just went and skated where we could fucking skate, you know? It was just a matter of we love what we do and we're going to find a place to do it.
Gonna freaking do it.
I don't think that's the full story though. I think that's for people who are smart and are responsible. I mean, honestly, anyone who's going to be in a professional sport is going to be some level of responsible. Because if you're not, you're going to be kicked out really quickly, right? So, I mean, using you as an example is bad because, you know, you guys are all very smart and responsible. But I mean, the kids that are causing the problem are the ones that are never smart and who are going to end up in prison anyways. And you're right. I agree we need more outlet. But I think what really brings it to them is the fame. Like that's really what really brings it to it. And I don't
feel
really
like the smart and responsibility comes with about 25 years of age. Because I also remember back in my day, I was not smart and not responsible. You know, at that age, you know, as far as driving.
You did it different though. You weren't in the middle of a freaking street doing it and hitting people or even possibly hitting someone. Running from the cops, giving the cop a finger, and then still doing it. We literally did it like
in the
3 a.m. in the canyons in a very dark area where no one else could see us. We like knew how to. We would respectfully wouldn't do it in neighborhoods. And we were like, hey, we're gonna wake people up. Let's do this somewhere else.
And we'd hit it.
And that stuff still goes on. That they still do that stuff. I mean, it's like, you know, I'm not gonna say I've never done it in my past, but I mean, the reason why you don't see any of us with no criminal backgrounds for the most part is exactly what you said. Like that's what I'm trying to say. Like everyone here in this chat.
You're saying that the new generation don't give a shit.
No, I'm just saying the people who are causing the problems are
those damn whippersnappers.
But yeah, these damn kids with their damn cars.
Jake's got it right. He's on point. That's why I literally want to take Jake and a few drivers to high schools and say, hey, there are outlets for you. There is ways to race, and it's you know, you can compare to what you spent, man. You get your car impounded by the cops. You're spending $1,200 to get it out. Don't ask me how I know. And then, you know, you can just go to the track and spend that money instead. So if there were more outlets and people knew there were more outlets, and the cops promote it more outlets.
And you can do it like
instead
a badass at 100 miles per hour, not 10.
You know, and the cops probably like making money on it, right? They
Yeah.
probably like the takeovers in some aspect because maybe they're making some type of profit on impounding more cars and giving more tickets. There's a
I
business
don't know
on
about
both
that.
ends.
I had a talk with one of the North Cal police officers because when I was at Winter Jam, and he hated it because I watched a Hellcat straight up nearly kill 3 people. And he
At
even
Winter
told me-
Jam?
No, so right outside of Winter Jam, we went to go get dinner, and you probably didn't know it was happening, but outside of Winter Jam, there was literal death happening 2 blocks down the road.
Wow.
We watched a Hellcat get stolen in front of us, jump in, do a massive burnout, tires blew out, and the guy started doing 90 mile an hour through all the red lights.
That's just GTA right there.
Wow, down the highway right there next to Sonoma? Or?
Yeah, right down there. And we just saw a cloud of
Jesus
smoke,
Christ.
and he was going 90 miles an hour with no tires in the rear.
Where he stole the car from what? Like what happened?
We literally just watched some kid got pulled out of the Hellcat, and then this guy jumped in and just drove off.
No shit. So he like yanked it was full GTA, like yanked the guy out of the car and wow.
I mean, I think they knew each other or something because I don't know.
It's like,
it was
you
the
know,
whole takeover thing. They were like trying to do a little takeover thing right out.
Oh,
right
he
outside.
also might have like hit someone and then ran and then you have no idea what happened. Yeah.
It's just, but you know that's another thing too. Inviting like what you guys saying earlier when you had the sheriff at Orange County, getting more police involved too, so they even know they can tell people. That's another good thing too.
Yeah, we try to involve the sheriffs, try to involve the city. You know, let them know that we're trying to do something the right way. You know, because they can push more people towards that. So.
Well, we're at 3 hours and 5 minutes.
Yeah. All right, Alex, we gotta let you go, bro.
Yeah.
We do need to get out of here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We need to keep my editing to somewhat of a minimum this one.
Good luck, bud.
Yeah, 3 hours minimum.
Good luck, buddy. Thanks. You got a lot of good
God
stories.
damn it.
And, all right, I gotta find another driver.
Yeah, dude, I appreciate the conversation, dude. Let's get him on again too.
Yep.
Yeah, this was a great conversation here.
Yeah, anytime, man.
I would like
He
to
likes to
extend
talk
it.
shit about the
Like
takeovers.
I would very like to extend it, but yeah, we just hit 3:05, and that's going to be a long podcast. So
Yeah. No, thank you for bringing me on.
yeah, I
Later, bud.
appreciate you, dude. Yep. Take it easy. Don't be sleazy.
Sleazy.
And we
Take
will
care.
see you guys next time. Later. Okay. Well,
Okay.
God damn, 3 hours. We done did it.
Longest freaking.
And if we didn't stick to schedule, we'd still be here.
We had a lot of dudes.
Yeah.
How many
yeah.
dudes?
Let's see.
Well, I say a
count.
lot of dudes. There was one girl.
Yep.
Yep.
A lot of dudes, one girl. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Wait,
10,
did you message Rudy and
11,
and
12.
Shelly?
Rudy hit me up like literally 20 minutes before we started the podcast. So I was like,
Too late.
Yeah. And
Sorry,
then
bud.
Mika, I don't think is run. He didn't know if he was gonna run this year.
Yeah, nerd.
And
I mean, we already had more than enough. God
yeah,
damn.
that was way more than enough.
That
yeah.
was a long one.
I wasn't expecting everyone to come
Be down?
through. Yeah.
I like this podcast though.
No,
It's
this is
kinda
good.
cool. I would
This
try
is
to
very
keep
good.
it down to 2 hours next time.
Yeah.
We'll just schedule it to only be 2 hours, and then just get a bunch of dudes in here.
I think like 2.
So if you
2 to
guys
3,
actually made
yeah.
it this far in the this far,
You made it this fur.
yeah, I don't know what I was gonna go with that. You know how you like blend two words?
This
If you-
fur.
further? I don't know.
This further.
If you guys made it this far, Christina makes fun of me all the time about let's just leave that part alone, nerds. If you made it this far in this interview, did you like us having that many drivers on 15-minute segments, or do you think you want the much longer segments? Let Andy know in the comments.
Yeah, about the last one too. Was the last one too long? Because I was supposed to edit that into 2, and I got lazy and I didn't.
Yeah, that last one could have been 2.
It could have definitely.
The last one was
the subjects,
Circle Adrift.
The subjects were so different.
And
you
Zach,
know what I mean? Yeah.
Mystified.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could have been 2 for sure.
Yeah, I got lazy. My
so
bad.
comment below if there's anything you guys want to hear, see. There's like the whole subscribing thing. Click some buttons.
Mhm.
Andy's gonna start saying names.
Be like here or something. Subscribe.
Yep.
I think I could put it like there.
I think there's some bell that like does a ding-a-ling thing if you click it.
Oh, the notifications thing. What you
And
got there?
so it says Hotpit.
Oh
I
yeah,
think
yeah. Promote. When is Hotpit happening? All this
March 5th at
Okay.
Irwindale Speedway. It's our only round at Irwindale Speedway this year.
Mhm.
And then we shoot over to Orange Show Speedway
Mhm.
for the last 4 rounds.
Mhm.
So if you like drifting, you like car show stuff, you like live bands, music, we're actually going to bring out a wedding DJ so that the girls They can get their little line dancing on. They can do all their, funny. What's that song, Christina, that you like? Wobble? Wobble, baby, wobble. Yeah. See, the girls got to have some fun, too. They don't just watch car stuff. We're doing all the things, man. We're trying to have some fun. What else you got?
Hotpit. Your Instagram is at Hotpit?
It's all the Hotpit stuff. HotpitAutofest.com. At Hotpit Autofest on Instagram. Find us. Tickets are on the Foat, but it's easiest just to go to the Hotpit Autofest website.
Mm-hmm.
Right on the first page, you can click the link. It'll take you to the Foat. Purchase your tickets. They're $20.
Buy your tickets.
Free parking for Irwindale Speedway. Come on in. Come have some fun.
Buy your tickets or your drift car is going to blow its engine the next time you drive it.
Yep.
That's just what's going to happen.
Put your car in the car show.
Yeah.
Car show is only $40.
Yeah.
That's just like a ticket and parking your car.
Mm-hmm. And
right?
if you can't make
you
the drifting thing, you might as well show up and and it's like it's VIP parking too.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're not only paying for that, you actually get to like
sneak in your cooler beers, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't say it.
You could sit in your car and watch stuff on your phone.
Oh yeah.
Argue with people on
we're actually
Twitter.
going to live stream. We have the
you're
Formula
gonna do it?
Drift guys.
Oh, you guys got them?
Yeah.
No shit.
Spending that money, bro.
No
so
shit.
the guys that do
it's
the
gonna be a
FP
good
live
live
streaming.
stream.
Where's my phone?
Are you guys doing multiple
I'm trying
cameras?
to think of what their name is. I think we're doing 6 cameras.
6 cameras. Sick.
Yeah. So we have
very nice
2 legit camera guys filming the thing.
Mm-hmm.
3 static GoPros or something of that sort, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have the 2 drones.
Okay. And that's going to be live, so you're going to have a guy switching all that stuff? And all
They're
that?
doing all that stuff.
Sick.
I'm not sure how it happens. I just know I'm paying them.
Sick. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad you guys got that figured out because I was terrible at it.
Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah.
We're still trying to figure it out. I mean, it's definitely going to cost some coin.
Yeah. Well, there's just no way to do that cheaply. Everybody's got to be on point for the entire event. You need, 4 or 5 people to be, completely focused.
Last year was a learning curve, and I was
6
the
to 8
judge.
hours.
This year, I'm trying to step out of the judging position and put someone else into it.
Yeah, you're too fucking busy up there.
Way
dude.
too busy.
Yeah.
And, I've still got my boys. Freaking RJ's running around doing stuff. Rob's running around, running the whole track and everything. Actually, RJ was driving last year, so this year we've asked him not to drive, just so he can run Vendor Village and run all this stuff. Christina's going to be yelling at people, making sure we're hitting all of our deliverables for sponsors. There's a lot of things to take on to a whole running a venue.
I'll be your slave again if you need one.
That's a conversation on its own. So let's get out of here.
Cool. All right. We are out of here. Thank you, guys. Episode 6. Peace.
I don't know where to wave.
Later.
There's so...
Welcome to What the Drift Podcast with your hosts, Formula Drift drivers Andy Haitley and Jeff Jones. Welcome to What the Drift Podcast with your hosts, Formula Drift drivers Andy Haitley and Jeff Jones.